So welcome, one and all, to another episode of the Wiki Weekdays podcast. I'm your host for this episode, Karl Smallwood, joined as ever by the illustrious and lovely Lucas Holland.
Hello there.
This is the series where myself and Lucas will scour the lengths and breadths of the internet for a wiki on a subject we're interested in and bring it forward for discussion. Make them compete with one another. Like fight.
they used
metaphorically
to compete.
so, not literally. We did, yeah. I just like the idea they're fighting.
Yeah, I guess so. But like they used to literally compete. Now we're a bit less, aggressive about the whole situation.
Yeah, we just decided, what, both subjects are interesting. We want our audience to enjoy the discussions that are had for both of them. But before we get to that, speaking of our audience as well, our audience have contributed to this podcast in numerous ways. For the visual watchers, people watching on YouTube and the like, you can see our pet of the week. This week it's Sid, who is midway through what I presume is stealing a treat. That's the look I've seen many a time before, where you see the dog approaching with serious intent.
It's just the blur on there. Just it adds some intent to the photo, right?
And I've said many times in the past, like if you'd like to submit some pictures for Pet of the Week, you can join a Patreon at a tier, join Discord to vote on the pictures. So if you're not a member of our Patreon, you can still vote on them. And I've always said the blurrier the better.
There was an accompanying picture which was just literal blur on the screen. There was no identifiable information within the picture, which I appreciate. But it's probably a bit harsh on Sid to just show blur completely.
Yeah. So, this is their moment to be on camera in front of literally thousands upon thousands of people. So if you think that Sid is a good dog, you can let us know in the comments section below, or join our Discord to similarly say, good dog.
Yeah, 100%. There's lots of good dogs and other pets.
There's
and
many.
Other just animals submitted by, sometimes it's just cretins people found in the streets.
Yeah. Oh, man, I've got a good one because there's some crows outside my house planning crow things. There's a friend of mine who, they bought a house and they're trying to set up an office, and they said their aesthetic for their office is going to be jungle academia.
Oh.
So, which just means that they want everything painted in dark colours and they want loads of shit in there that's haunted.
Cool.
So yeah. They're the friend I've mentioned for the Halloween podcast of they want a haunted / cursed object.
Oh,
and the thing they want for their house is they want a stuffed raven. They don't want obviously get a new one because they don't want an animal to die. But
I weren't looking. I was going to say, I hope you weren't looking at those crows in the tree.
Whenever I see the crows or ravens outside my house plotting, I send the photo to my friend of they'd be plotting. I just want one of these ones.
Oh, no. That's the thing, right? Is whenever I see a bunch of crows together, I imagine they're plotting revenge on something.
They've got to be plotting something. Like I saw them the other day having turf war. There was these, honest to God, there was these two. I don't know. I know ravens and crows is a distinct difference. But when I see two jet black corvids kicking the shit out of each other, I don't know what's in that mass of feathers and talons. I just know that some disagreement's going down. And they were proper fighting. They were in midair, spinning in midair, doing all sorts of crazy bullshit. I felt like I was witnessing a mob hit.
I will just say as well for visual watchers, sorry, Karl's Discord side is glitching out a little bit, but hopefully it calms down.
Hopefully we can fix that. Yeah, I did do a big clean of my house this week, so I might have moved my router or something.
Yeah, it's Karl's camera crashed the moment he said, "Hey, I'm ready to record today," so we'll see what happens.
Yes, but in regards to keeping in with the trend of our supporters on Patreon, you can also see our Patreon producers above myself and Lucas's heads. Or PPs, as we like to call them.
Yeah, and then, of course, at the end of the video version, we will give a shout-out to our big PPs, who are our top-tier Patrons.
I just love it. I love that we just, on the fly, came up with PPs.
Well, you came up with it. I'm just rolling with it.
You have indeed, yes. And I guess the last thing to mention, obviously, this is the first podcast of the month of December. It's going to be slightly less content. Released on Wiki Weekends this month, but we are encouraging our audience to give as much feedback as possible. For example, you can go to the YouTube community tab or the Patreon. I think on our Patreon and on our Discord, we've got a open call for questions for a Q&A episode going out later this month.
But we're probably recording that tomorrow to get ahead, so this podcast will come out after we've recorded that.
In which case, if we've already recorded this by the time this podcast goes out, myself and Lucas will endeavour to answer as many of those questions as we can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if it's more likely that we'll reply in the Discord if we've already recorded the episode, but we're basically just like spending the next few days trying to record a bunch of our December content so we can just get it edited, get it ahead, and take some time off from work. But yes.
Yes, and besides that, I think, Lucas, we're ready to go into your wiki, are we not?
Yeah, I just briefly want to mention for, visual watchers as well that, like, I realised that I'm wearing, like, my blanket cape, and it's an Attack on Titan cape, but it actually just makes me look like a hobbit right now.
Yeah, you have got a very Hobbit look going on.
I've got a very Hobbit vibe going on. So if you listen, on the audio version, or just watching it like in the background, then see how hobbity I look today.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, but then again, a Hobbit look is a very cozy look. A lot of people, like myself included, really enjoy watching like that first Fellowship of the Ring movie for how cozy the first like half an hour to 40 minutes is.
Just like having a little cape blanket and then just having second breakfast and just think about that.
Yeah, capes need to come back.
I do.
Like a friend of mine, they recently moved back to our hometown because they've been living in a big city, like doing like finance and stuff. They'd lived that dream. They'd gone to the big city. They'd done finance. They'd earned the money.
Route.
Yeah, and now they've bought like a house in our like podunk small town we grew up in, and because they've got loads of money from their job and they're working remote, they seem like pitch like it's Halloween. And for Halloween, they got like the giant inflatable UFO outside that you're standing like you're being abducted. For Christmas, they've gone and got all the crazy decorations for their front garden. Like, I'm going to be the crazy lady who walks around our hometown wearing a cape and a wizard hat because I can.
But, speaking of crazy, Karl, the thing that I have brought today is maybe one of the crazier video games I have seen in terms of like a concept, and it's very simple and also kind of insane, and that is the video game Kirby Air Ride. And
all right,
the reason
I'm down for this. I'm down to talk about Kirby Air Ride.
The reason why it's crazy is because it's essentially a one-button kart racer game.
Yes, so I wasn't too familiar with Kirby Air Ride as a concept until I saw Masahiro Sakurai, the lead director on the Smash Bros. Series, is like, hey, I'm bringing Kirby Air Ride back.
Mm-hmm.
And watching all the discussions like and the videos they've led talking about Kirby Air Ride, I was like, I didn't realise Kirby Air Ride was a one-button video game.
Yeah.
That's such an interesting concept.
It really is. And Kirby Air Ride, not Air Riders, the sequel on Switch, is a 2003 racing video game developed by HAL Laboratory and published by Nintendo for the GameCube. And obviously it is a spin-off of the Kirby series. And the director is Masahiro Sakurai, who most people will be more familiar with either creating Kirby or creating Super Smash Bros.
Yes, or perhaps Kid Icarus.
Well, he
was the lead director of a couple of Kid Icarus games.
Yeah, it literally won, And for some reason, he just decided that, like, hey, remember those Kid Icarus games? And, like, that Kid Icarus that we put in Smash Bros. Brawl? What about if I made, like, a shmup that's a Kid Icarus game? And it's like, okay, Sakurai, you do you.
For the 3DS, the game was colloquially known as the Wrist Annihilator, because it was so difficult and required like such specific movements. Many people found the only way to play is like curl your wrist all the way over, like you play Monster Hunter and make the claw, unless you had like that attachment that added like an analog stick to the 3DS.
The Circle Pad Pro, and they also released like a tripod for Kid Icarus Uprising, because the game was that uncomfortable to play that it was like, hey, we're going to give you a tripod to set on your desk and play it that way.
How many different like Nintendo video games have caused like actual injuries in the people who play them? Because I can think of Kid Icarus, and as well, and the additional detail of the Nintendo acknowledging that via the release of additional piece of hardware. Because there's Kid Icarus with the tripod, and then there's Mario Party where they had to release gloves because the amount of people who were wrecking their hands doing like the spin the analog stick mini games with the palm of their hand.
Yeah,
or the heel of their palm and like scraping away all the skin, and they released a special glove for playing the game.
So I think they lost or settled a class action lawsuit for how many people were burning the palms of their hands, including me as a child, because kids get competitive with Mario Party. To be fair, adults get competitive with Mario Party. Yeah, I know I do. Yeah. But
Lucas gets so competitive with Mario Party.
it's unhealthy.
Can confirm.
It's unhealthy. But yeah, like, me and my sisters would, like, burn our palms of our hands getting that competitive with, like, the games like Tug of War where you spin the analog stick, because the plastic on the N64 analog stick is, like, ridged and also super tough.
Yeah, like, it's ridged not for your pleasure.
No.
Like, it's designed to, like, obviously, it's a grip. And that's great for when you're, like, playing, like, I don't know, GoldenEye or something like that, and you're doing that. Because before we had analog aiming, we had fine aiming. Remember fine aiming? Like, for using that. And yeah, it injured so many people, they had to release a specific an additional piece of hardware. Not hardware, but an additional peripheral in the form of a glove. The Nintendo wanking glove.
And it actually didn't cost them anywhere near as much money as it could.
No one sent off for one, did they?
Because you had to, like, actually request one from Nintendo. So
that's the trick with a lot of class actions, isn't it? Of you need to keep the receipt, and when they settle a class action, it's like, send us a receipt to prove that you bought it.
And yeah, it's a very interesting thing. I'm interested.
Is there any more examples of that? I feel like there is. Was there an example with the Wii?
Oh,
Did the Wii cause injuries, or was the Wii more just destroy televisions?
There's the Wii condom, and I think that was more preventing either your objects in your house or, I guess, people from being injured by the Wii remote, rather than...
Was that released after all those stories of people smashing their TVs?
Yeah, that was released a couple of years in.
That's three examples of Nintendo products causing, like, injury or damage to persons or their belongings.
Enough to where they have to release something to deal with the problem.
That's quite a lot. Can anyone think of any more examples of this, specifically with Nintendo? Did like the Wii balance board injure anybody?
Probably. I mean,
probably, but did they ever acknowledge that it damaged?
And hit their fucking sibling with it, right?
It's like that quote, isn't it? Of like, if I had a nickel for every time this happened, I have 2 nickels, or in this case 3 nickels, which isn't a lot of nickels, but it's weird that it happened 3 times.
And I don't know whether the tripod was after the fact or not. But I know they released it for Kid Icarus Uprising. I don't know whether it was, like, preemptively or not. But yeah, I would ask people to, like, comment below any other examples they've got. Even if it's not Nintendo, just gaming in general, I would be interested to, like, get a little compile, list of things that fucked up so much that extra accessories had to get released.
Yeah, the specific criteria is that the company making the product acknowledge that these injuries or mistakes and accidents were happening and release something after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
So I know there's, like, a couple of examples, maybe it's not hardware, but there are a few examples of, like, video games accidentally contain, like, seizure-causing moments, and then they're like, oh, fuck, we better put, like, a patch in to fix this shit.
Yeah, because, like, for example, I know that a lot of VR is similar, but even, like, speaking Nintendo-wise, the Virtual Boy, a lot of that, like, weirdness caused sickness in people quite easily, but I don't think there was anything that they ever, like, updated or re-released or, like, new accessory they came out with to, like, prevent that. I think it was just, well, if you can't handle the Virtual Boy, sorry, you're missing out on, like, 3 games.
That'd be a great advertising campaign, though. You can't handle the Virtual Boy.
You can't handle it. What was
all those people getting, like, when 3D died on its ass for, like, movies, theatres, and, like, everyone's in agreement, like, it makes the movie look like sludge, and I don't like it, and it costs $10 more. Wouldn't it have been great if, like, James Cameron came out and went, you just can't handle it. You can't handle the Navi in 3D.
Was it Dead Space where it's like, it wasn't that you can't handle it, it was
your
like...
Your mum doesn't like Dead Space.
Your mum or your grandma or something hates Dead Space or something like
that.
They brought,
for Dead Space 2, they brought in a bunch of, like, random, like, just middle-aged women off the streets and recorded them looking at all the cutscenes of, like, people getting dismembered and killed. And advertise it as your mum can't handle Dead Space, which felt so antithetical to the tone of Dead Space. So, like, Dead Space wasn't an edgy dude bro shooter that was sold on its the controversy it generated. But that really felt like that's the perfect encapsulation of, like, the Xbox 360 era, that this like, methodical, slow-paced survival, like, intimate, crafted survival horror series has an advertising campaign of, like, whoa, your mum can't handle how extreme this game is. It's like, could you not really just say it's a good game?
Oh, Karl's gone robot mode.
My apologies.
But yeah, I think that what it was probably someone in EA going, how do we get this in the hands of Call of Duty and GTA players? That's what I think that campaign was for.
Yeah, advertise it. Like, put a guy with a gun on the cover.
Yeah, and like, obviously, Dead Space doesn't really generally appeal to that kind of crowd. Like, I should say, like, the kind of dude bro shooter-esque crowd.
No.
But I think that was EA going, Dead Space didn't sell enough. How do we get it in those people's hands?
Yeah, how do we trick them? And speaking of which, you go into Kirby Air Riders and Kirby Air Ride, the original game. Mm-hmm. Are you aware? You no doubt are, Lucas, of the trend that Kirby is synonymous with, of how do we get this cutesy Japanese game to appeal to Western gamers?
It's just to
and
make
what do they
Kirby
normally do,
look
Lucas?
more angry.
Yes.
They make Kirby just a little bit angry on the box art.
It's literally to the point where the box art for the Japanese version of Kirby Air Ride is near identical to the American version, save for the fact they just give Kirby's eyebrows, they point them down. So rather than like, hey, Kirby's having fun racing around on his superstar, like, yay! Kirby's like, I'm gonna fucking murk someone.
I'm actually looking up the Japanese cover. He's just smiling instead.
Yeah, just I think, but side by side, it's literally the exact same cover. They just put the eyebrows and go, boop.
So
make it a little bit angrier.
Oh my god, why is the first thing... Okay. Right. So...
You're going to put an example of this on screen for the visual watchers.
So you just try and talk to me.
I've sent you the image on Discord.
Oh, you're right, okay.
Yeah.
I'll get both versions up, so I'll save both. So if you could just...
Yes, but this is like a very common trend, but it's the funniest example is... Oh god, my camera's doing the thing.
It is doing the thing. Oh no, Karl's camera's really doing the thing. Oh,
yeah, he's doing the thing. Right, so I'll try and fix that. But there is many examples of video games having just wildly different covers based on where they were released in the world. And the most notable examples are, hey, here's the Japanese cover for the Japanese market, and it's usually like a really sick piece of artwork provided by like a lead artist for the series. And then the American version is on like, here's a shit render.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of like iconic examples of this, and I think probably the worst that I'm aware of is Ico or Eco.
I think it's Eco.
Like there's the PAL cover, and there's like the American cover, Lucas.
Oh, I think I remember this one where one's just like a windmill or something.
Yeah, it's like it's to sell because what's the the Eco's all about? So this is a giant open, haunting environment that you explore slowly. What's the American version? Kid with a sword.
Yeah, really
you barely swing your sword once.
Early PS2 render kid with a sword that and then the woman's face in the background, and it's so busy and ugly. And the Japanese one is just like a nice windmill, and you can barely see the characters, and it's just a cool looking.
It's also the version we get over here as well. I think perhaps the most infamous example is what I'm saying to you now, and that is the cover for Mega Man, aka Rockman in Japan, and that's where we get bad box art Mega Man.
So the Kirby Air Ride one is on screen at the moment.
It's so funny because it's such a small change.
It really isn't that different, apart from like the logo treatment is like, on the opposite side and got a bit more going on with the USA one. But the biggest difference is just we made Kirby a little less saturated.
A little less pink. Gamers won't play a main character who's pink.
Yeah. B, just a bit angrier. It's like, okay, sure.
Were you aware that it's been like a consistent thing for the Kirby series?
Yeah. I think it was like from second one, I believe they made Kirby
basically,
more aggressive.
Almost every Kirby cover is just like, and that's the Kirby's not an angry character, except for when he's hungry. So I guess he's always angry.
Kirby's not an angry character. Kirby's a scary character in terms of like power set, but Kirby's definitely not angry.
One of the running gags that I think I appreciate most, like about our content, is that whenever we broach the subject of like, hey, which character would win in a fictional fight, because that's a popular thing online, we always clarify discounting Kirby, and people think we're joking. It's like, no, Kirby would win.
Kirby is god level threat.
Yeah, Kirby is the singular strongest character in all of video gaming.
Maybe not singular, but at least Kirby is within the
singular
conversation.
Strongest protagonist.
Kirby's within the conversation at very least, because, like, obviously there's a lot of games, and I can't think of all of them off the top of my head, but Kirby is definitely in that conversation, like, ending universal level threats at the end game in most of the mainline titles.
Yep. Like, Kirby is like one of the singular strongest protagonists in all of video gaming.
And currently, right now, we have the Eco box art going on.
It's so bad.
And the Eco one is, like, genuinely terrible. Like, I will just try and zoom in on it a little bit and cover me up just for a moment so people can really appreciate how bad that American box art is.
There's a couple just, like, it's baffling as well, but I remember it was The Last of Us. That's one of the more, like, infamous Western examples where Naughty Dog had to fight to put Ellie on the cover, and, like, well, it's games don't sell if there's a girl on the cover. Can put Joel on and give him a gun in his hand, and they were like, Ellie is the main character. Mm-hmm. You play as Joel, Ellie is the main focus of the entire narrative. It's her game. If you don't put her on the front of the game, we're going to have a fucking problem. Put her on the front. And if you remember, there were two versions of a game, cover-wise. There was, like, the arty one for the special edition, where it's just Ellie in black and white. And then there's the one that you just got as the standard edition, which is Joel on the cover with a gun behind his back and Ellie stood in front of him. Mm-hmm. And it was even a fight to have Ellie stood in front of Joel.
Yeah.
And they had to have Joel facing the other way so that they could argue to the publisher of, like, okay, so Ellie is following Joel, so Joel's still the main character, but we want Ellie as the focus, so she's in front.
Mm-hmm. And
it's like, for fuck's sake.
I'm just also... It's the same game, everyone. I'm covering me up again to just really show off Mega Man and Rockman. Rockman is what it's called in Japan, because it's referenced like rock and roll, hence the characters Rock and Roll. He's called Rockman, and then there's Roll, who is a sidekick. And like Rush, and like a lot of way more like musical references in the Japanese version.
Yeah.
But yeah, bad box art Mega Man is like a joke
Infamous.
To the point where they put him in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, wasn't it?
Yeah. Street Fighter Cross Tekken, bad box art, Mega Man's the main character.
Yeah, and what a disservice to Mega Man. Is like, hey, we're going to throw Mega Man in like a Street Fighter Tekken crossover. What are you going to do? Oh, we're going to give him like this weird meme joke.
I like that, though. I actually like that they put bad box art Mega Man in and didn't shy away from it. And I kind of like the fact that, like, most companies would be so embarrassed they'd scrub that shit from their history.
Mm-hmm.
Bad box art Mega Man is as much of Mega Man's history as Mega Man himself.
Speaking of which, Karl,
yes,
I presume you have not seen this like mini news story.
I've not seen the latest direct. I did watch the initial direct for Kirby Air Riders presented by Sakurai, because I really do like the way they present those directs of how slow. They're almost like mini video essays. Not even they are video essays, but they're so slow paced. They're a really good, like, relaxing watch.
I would say for Kirby Air Riders, it was definitely unnecessary to give us like 2.5 hours worth of information on a game that needs 2 buttons to play. But
which is what I appreciate about it. Yeah,
it's still interesting to like see Sakurai break down things, because they just present the information so well and so in such a detailed manner. But
not to mention as well, you can clearly, like, Sakurai's like authenticity and his passion for the project bleeds through into his presentation.
Yeah, 100%.
I want to play the game just to support someone who's clearly so passionate about the project.
Yeah. This is not, however, Sakurai-based information. This is a news story that came out of the game being released into the wild.
Okay, tell me about it.
So, like a lot of racing games, Kirby Air Riders lets you use little stickers to customize your like vehicles, right?
Oh yeah.
So there is a meme that's been going on in Japan where I don't know where it originated from, but it's been quite popular for like a decade plus, and maybe we just haven't heard about it over here. And it is Chef Kawasaki, one of the characters from the Kirby games. He's like the big like chef character.
Yeah, he cooks you a nice meal.
Yeah. It's him in a micro-bikini. And people took like the star vehicle, put Chef Kawasaki's face on it, and it looks like it's Chef Kawasaki with like his arms and legs spread out, because it's like a star shape. and then they put a micro-bikini on, and then put it on, like, the Kirby Air Riders store for people to buy, like, things in the Kirby Air Riders store for your vehicle. And Nintendo had to shut that shit down and, like, remove it from the store because they deemed it, like, inappropriate, I guess.
Oh, I hate when they do that. I understand you've got to protect the brand, but at the same time, it's like, oh, it's really fun, though.
So there was a news story out there of, like, hey, Kirby Air Riders has banned, like, a micro-bikini skin, and I was like, what is going on here? Because I didn't even know there was vehicle customization. And then it's like, oh, it's not like an anime girl or something. It's like Chef Kawasaki in a micro bikini. It's like, oh,
there's that like Fortnite like dance animation where people are using it to troll because if you animation cancelled it at the right moment, you'd be stuck in a permanent swastika pose.
Oh my god!
And really? Like the Peacekeeper dance routine. As part of the dance routine, briefly, there's for story reasons it'll make some of the characters in the show are like secret hidden Nazis. It's not spoiled for season 2 because his fucking dad is called White Dragon. He's a fucking neo-Nazi who flies around on a jetpack with a flamethrower. So as part of the dance choreography is some of the characters briefly strike a pose reminiscent of a swastika. The problem is when they put that into Fortnite, you can just animation cancel it and just swastika towards people. It's like, yeah, we should probably remove that from the game. It was like when they did... Remember in Fortnite they had like the Martin Luther King celebration?
Did they?
Well, they aired Martin Luther King's speech in Fortnite.
Did, yeah.
And for that, they had to ban the crack that whip, do the nay dance emote because people were going in as black avatars and having someone do the crack the whip emoji. And if you get to the point where you have to do that, maybe this is not the avenue for that sort of content.
That thing is like, there's a new story about weird Fortnite stuff like every week, and obviously they do so many different events and stuff. It's so hard to actually keep track of them, and even if you do, like, remember all of the weird controversies they've had.
Oh, yeah, it's because I imagine it must be an absolute nightmare, the amount of IPs they have to juggle. Of the moment, like, someone says, like, here's Goku hitting the swastika. It's like, okay, well, we don't want that on the internet, because if Namco Bandai or, like, fucking Toei Animation gets wind of this, we never fucking getting that license back.
Yeah. It's like, it's all fun and games when, like, Goku gets a win and hits the griddy, but when you've just got basically a game of almost near infinite possibilities in terms of the amount of brands and emotes and like crossovers and stuff that like events you can put together. It's just, it must be a nightmare. I don't know how.
I'm still baffled they let them wield realistic looking guns. So I know like in more recent years, like Fortnite has really shied away from giving people realistic looking weaponry, and it's more like cartoonish, like silly weapons or futuristic weapons that shoot lasers and stuff. But like, I remember like our friend absolutely losing his shit and sending the gift to chat multiple times, and they introduced like the Naruto stuff. Of, like, here's Naruto hitting like the full on like what, then whipping out an AK-47 and blowing Goku away. It's like, how is that? I'm baffled that like the people who own that signed off on their character wielding an AK-47 and gunning down people.
There is an amount of money a company can earn to just not care.
To just not care, yeah.
And it's weird that Nintendo have not reached that level yet. That, like, they still are pretty staunch. You know, this podcast may age very poorly, or this sentence may age very poorly, because right now, as of time recording, Nintendo have, like, put a statement out of, like, no, we absolutely do not want, like, Samus running around in Fortnite with an AK-47.
Yeah.
That may change if there's, like, enough zeros get added to that paycheck, but... Yeah.
It's actually impressive that they're one holdout. It's like there's like Kill Bill shit in there now. Like the bride's in there. You can ride around the pussy wagon.
But not only that, they are advertising it as the lost story that never got shot for Kill Bill was like Go-Go.
So I think it's the whole bloody affair.
Yeah.
Was it Go-Go Yubari's story?
It's Go-Go's sister trying to get revenge on the bride. And that was apparently a thing that was written by Tarantino, but never put in the movie.
And they're putting it into Fortnite. So now I hate this. I hate Fortnite. Remember, like where if you wanted to get the context for how Palpatine came back, you had to play Fortnite. And that's why in like Return of or Rise of Skywalker, they say somehow Palpatine returned, because Oscar Isaac couldn't say the full line of somehow Palpatine returned. To see the full story, click this YouTube link for the fucking
the Fortnite event,
the Fortnite announcement where you'll have like fucking the alien Xenomorph from the Alien series and Rick from Rick and Morty hitting the fucking griddy in the background.
It's wild to me that, as far as I'm aware, when I last Googled it, when I tried to find a clip of it, it was only like unofficial, like random streamers that had put the clip up. There wasn't even like a Fortnite official video of like, here's not a bunch of people emoting in front of the screen as this all happens.
Yeah, which means now that it's not lost media, because obviously there's clips of it, but the idea that this is an official part of Star Wars canon, and the only way to see it is in low-quality rips of streams on YouTube. There's no official way to watch it. It's not on Disney+.
Which
is not part of the DVD releases.
But the last time I tried to find a clip for it, the only footage I could find of it was from random YouTube clips of streams.
Yeah, it's like the Go-Go Yubari thing. Because I know there's a couple of things unfilmed for Kill, but I thought it was going to be the whole bloody affair, which is the anime. Do you know the anime short right in the middle of Kill Bill?
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, there's like an hour-long version of that.
Oh, like the Lucy
That's never seen the light of day.
Backstory.
Yes.
Yeah. Or Lucy Lou's character's backstory. Yeah. But yeah, apparently it's like the revenge story that never got told of Go-Go Yubari's sister. Like.
Cool.
What a weird world we live in, where like the only way we're ever gonna find out information about that hidden story within Kill Bill is through a fucking Fortnite crossover.
Wild. And you know what? I'm glad Kirby's not there. Kirby's in Air Ride.
Can you imagine a world where Kirby gets put into Fortnite and just starts whipping out guns? Well, to be fair, I can, because he does it in Smash Bros.
I'd only accept if Kirby was in the game. It was like that Thanos event where it's like stop Kirby getting the Infinity Stones and destroying all of them Fortnite.
It wouldn't even be. It would just be Kirby is essentially an Infinity Stone. Stop it.
Yeah, it'd be like one of those like RPG fights that you can't win.
Yeah,
Like the opponent's got like an infinite health bar, or it constantly recovers.
Or like those like Dark Souls bosses that are like the tutorial bosses that you're not meant to beat, that you can beat.
But you're not meant to beat, yeah. And if you beat them, you don't actually beat them. It's just you get the life bar down, they get a second phase and just wipe you out of existence.
Or like I think it's it might be Dark Souls where you get to progress past that boss, but then just an infinite amount of more bullshit gets sent at you, basically.
You can just say Dark Souls.
Even more unfair than Dark Souls normally is, though, I believe.
I still love it as well, because Miyazaki, like, when they ask him, like, do you play Dark Souls? Like, fuck no, they're too difficult. Like, Miyazaki uses, like, summons, he overlevels, he uses the cheat weapons, but he gets, like the shortcuts, he looks up guides on YouTube for his own fucking game.
He even says, though, like, the reason we put those things in the game is because you need them, or you're meant to need them. He's like, I know
they're there for people, like,
you know,
it's always the response he has to make an easy mode. There is an easy mode, summons. Yeah. Summons are easy modes. It breaks the programming of the game because every enemy is designed to most every enemy in a Souls games, the AI completely breaks the second another person or player character or NPC is summoned into the arena.
The one thing I really want is, I know there's unofficial mods for it, but just the seamless co-op. Because yeah, you can co-op somebody into like a dungeon, but a mutual friend of ours like helped me through some of the game with Elden Ring on my first playthrough. I ended up beating it multiple times and speedrunning and stuff. Like, I got good. Mm-hmm. But that first playthrough, they helped me, and it was a process of like them getting kicked out of my game, me having to get to another area where I can summon them again, bringing them back into the game, and it's like, just let me have them there.
It's like, I remember like playing Monster Hunter Wilds and just how difficult it is to just get a party that you can stick with for the entire game. It's like, oh, if this person progresses the story, you don't get your story progressed. You have to complete the story in your game on your own. It's like, why would you devise a system that actively disincentivizes me from playing with other people in a co-op game?
Yeah, so is that the case
Or a game with
of, like...
co-op elements.
Because I know, for example, in, like, Borderlands or, like, the old Far Cry's, that you wouldn't gain progression. But I think you do in the newest Borderlands, but you didn't
You
used
got
to.
to, yeah.
But you didn't gain progression in your game, but you could just be in their world and do the entire game in their world.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to do each mission, like, multiple times if you're in a group? And then move on to the next
Hunter,
one?
yeah. At least to my knowledge, yeah, they may have changed it, but I remember like the advice from most people is complete the game and then do co-op hunts together, because if you try and play through the story as a pair, one of you is not going to have the story completed, which means they're going to have to go replay it again.
What
and the story's not great.
Horrible experience. And like I remember I was really excited, like Monster Hunter World came to like Game Pass or something, and I was like,
yeah, we tried to play it if you remember.
No,
yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say, is that I was like, Karl, let's do a stream where we co-op some Monster Hunter World. And the experience was dreadful and we could barely get a game together.
Yeah, it took us like, a good like 10, 15 minutes looking up guides online of like, how the fuck do we actually get into each other's game?
Which
that shouldn't be something I have to go outside of the game for. That should be a button on screen that I press and it happens.
But anyway, going back to Kirby Air Ride, Karl.
It's all about Air Ride.
It is one of the beautiful things, especially about like HAL Laboratory games, is that the GameCube, even the N64 had 4 ports for controllers, like just built into the system. And yeah, Kirby Air Ride, it's as simple as like putting in a controller and going to multiplayer mode, similar to Smash Bros. And like it's one of the most kind of like underrated. Like, I know some people who are deep into the weeds talk about it, but it's very underrated how clever and how intuitive the menuing is for like these HAL Laboratory games.
Of just, I want to play with a friend, here's the way you do it. I think to like remember like the guest system on PS4 of trying to like, okay, I've got my mates around, we want to play FIFA. Okay, does he have an account? No, he doesn't have an account. Okay, add your PlayStation. I don't want to add my fucking PlayStation account. It's like, play as guest. Okay, is this a guest on your account or is it a guest on one of the other accounts on your console? Do you want to make you say, would you like to create an account for it? No, I want to fucking play FIFA.
Yeah, it's like you play Smash Bros. And Smash Bros. Ultimate, for example, and
whatever controller you got attached, just wiggle the stick, you're instantly in.
You can literally add any controller at any point, even when you're already like in the character select screen. You can just add another controller, add another person to the match, up to 8 players without question.
Right there. Don't need to open up a menu. Don't need to go outside the game. Don't need to create a new fresh account for every single fucking person.
And you can add names so you have customized controls for each person.
And it'll track their stats. But if you just want to play Smash Bros, boom, you're in.
It can just come
How
up.
long? Like 2-3 seconds.
Yeah. Literally, you could just, I should say, like, connect your controller, move a button, like, or press a button or move the stick, and it'll just come up like, yeah, player 2's in.
Yeah, and someone out there's probably thinking, well, is this that big a deal? No, it's not, but it's just, it craters the end user experience. I think too, like, near enough every single time I buy a new video game, first of all, I've got to put it in my console, and I've got to wait for it to install. That fucking sucks. So I would do that, go get a cup of coffee or something, come back, boot it up. Game can now be started. Boom, puts me into a menu. Game's not installed yet. It's like, oh yeah, technically I can start it, but if I can't, I hate that as well. The game can be started, but all you can do is look at the main menu or change the settings. Okay, game's fully installed. Press it. Update required. Update the game. Go back in. Okay, now am I actually playing the game? Restart required. Restart the game. Go back in. Are you connected to online? No, because I've just restarted my console. Connect to online. Boom. Splash screen. This looks fun. This looks really nice. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Here's your EULA. Do you agree to this? No. Okay, you can't play the game. Okay, guess, press X. Would you like to make an Ubisoft account? Fuck no. Get to the main screen. This looks nice, but you've already had such an awful experience. It'd be like going to a restaurant that's really nice, but the waiter didn't get in your way, but they did that thing where they stand slightly in your way and just didn't move. Do you know when you like trying to get past someone like the stairs and they're not completely in, but you got like that awkward shuffle around them? Imagine going to a restaurant and as you get into your seat, there's just constantly someone doing that as you try to get to your seat. That's what it feels like to me.
It's quite funny because, like, I always kind of have some kind of noise on in the background of, like, YouTube or something, just auto-playing when I'm sleeping. And I actually, like, a couple of days ago, woke up to, like, someone complain about this from, like, an old podcast where they were like, okay, Fallout 76, it came on Game Pass. I wasn't very sure about the game, but I heard it got better. So I spent all night downloading the game. And then I went to play the game. And, it comes up like, sign into your Bethesda account. And I'm like, okay, try to sign in from a Bethesda account. Like, try a few different passwords and emails and stuff. I need to go to my PC. My PC's upstairs. I can't be arsed. I just uninstalled the game because I spent 15
I've
minutes
been there. I've done it.
Not being able to play the game. And you know what? It was a game that I wanted to give a try, but wasn't that arsed about. And it's just giving me so many initial barriers to just get in that, like, yeah, it's not worth my time.
It's not worth my time.
And it's just, yeah.
And it's frustrating. And I know there's probably some technical reason, business reason that it has to be there. But it's fucking frustrating. It's an awful initial first experience. Then you think, Smash Bros. What happens when you build up Smash Bros, Lucas? Boom. Plays like this immaculate CG cutscene that you can skip.
Yeah.
That you can skip from second one. It's already preloaded, so you don't have to do that awkward thing of waiting 5 seconds for it to load into skips. Like, do you want to watch this cutscene? No, skip straight in. Menu, boom, done. Do you want to play a game? Do you want to go into story mode? Fucking done. Instant.
Yeah, like...
I imagine Air Riders are the same.
Yeah, Kirby Air Riders, I know, basically steals, like, the Smash Bros. Style menus. Not 100% sure what the Kirby Air Ride menu system is like, but I think it was probably...
I bet it's real fucking smooth, really intuitive, and has a banging soundtrack.
It's the Melee menu. It's literally the Smash Bros. Melee menu, yeah.
It's an underrated aspect of, like, making games. Like, I think so many people gush over, like, Atlas. Like the Persona games. I think they make the Persona games, right? Is it Atlas to do those with their like UI? And someone actually interviewed someone from like the company of like, why do your UIs look so good? It's like, we've had the same UI team for like 15 years and we don't fire them. Because they know what they're doing, they're really good at their jobs, and the UI is now part of our game, our series identity. So we make sure they're paid well, compensated well, and want to keep making good stuff for us.
It's really interesting because, like right now, Metroid Prime 4 is about to release, and you look at Nintendo itself. Bear in mind, Metroid Prime is developed by Retro Studios, not a Nintendo company. They might have been bought out by Nintendo at this point, I'm not sure. But it's not like, you know, Nintendo Studio number one or whatever, EAD. Yeah. It's similar to like HAL, where they make, like, or used to make Smash Bros. And Kirby Air Ride. I think it's like more Namco now at this point. But, yeah, like, Nintendo still have one of the two original creators of Super Mario Bros., Takashi Tezuka, is still working on 2D Mario games to this day, and that is like 40 years of institutional knowledge. Whereas,
yeah, that's the thing as well. It's like, is that guy going to be as familiar with like the hardware as newer people who was trained on it? No. But he said his knowledge of the series and what makes it work, that, you know, that kernel of magic that made the series popular in the first place, invaluable.
Yeah, his job is more on the creative side at this point to like
producer. Usually those kind of, they work in like executive producing roles.
And basically, like, I believe his main involvement with like Super Mario Wonder, for example, is basically like trying out people's ideas for levels and basically approving them and stuff. And yeah, but again, you've got like 40 years worth of Mario knowledge of like, here's how Mario works, here's how Mario's made. And then you compare that to like Retro Studios, where people are looking at the amount of people that have left from making Metroid Prime 3 to Metroid Prime 4 over the past like 10 years, of people leaving or being fired. And it's like, oh, is it even like, it's like the ship of Theseus at this point of like,
yeah,
how many people who actually worked on Metroid Prime are working on Metroid Prime anymore?
Yeah. And ship of Theseus, people don't know, it's an old like a tale about the ship belonging to the ancient hero king. Over many, many years, like so they replaced like a panel here, a panel there, remove some nails here because of rust, and at a certain point, when does the ship stop being the original ship? And if you took all the old parts that were used to make that ship, or that took off the ship and built another ship, is that the original?
Mm-hmm.
And at what point does it cease to be the original? It's like
it happens quite a few times. I think some examples that I can think of off the top of my head, games.
There's a few real world examples.
It's like that a lot of the development team of Guitar Hero ended up like having a problem with like Activision or licenses or whatever, and that team Harmonix became the people that made Rock Band, and the people making Guitar Hero were a new team entirely. And then,
but they were still, and I remember there was an advertisement for like one of the Guitar Hero games, like the original rhythm action game returns. It's like, but not the people who made it.
Yeah, the people who made all of the first like 2 Guitar Hero games are making Rock Band. So is Rock Band now Guitar Hero? And obviously,
I think it was a back for
a different vibe.
Blood or something, right? Remember that?
I was
is
about
it that
to
the one
mention
that was the Left 4 Dead.
That was the other one I was going to say. Yeah.
We're a bunch of people who made like the original Left 4 Dead, and you look it up, and it's like 4 of them made Left 4 Dead, and they were like they were in like producing roles, not actual programmer roles or anything like that. And it's like technically you are right.
It's like,
but that is a real tenuous link.
It was still Turtle Rock Studios. I don't know how bad it was in terms of like how many people had left at that point, but that was another one that was, hey, Turtle Rock made Left 4 Dead, and now Turtle Rock are making Back for Blood. And it's like, okay, but yeah, how many of those people have already like moved to Valve or something? And yeah.
It's like when you look at like movies, isn't it? And like a movie will come out and it's like the Russo brothers all like sat in on one creative meeting and said, change that colour to blue.
Yeah.
And it's like, from the creatives who brought you Endgame. And it's like, 1, no it's not. 2, the Russos didn't make Endgame. A team of like 80,000 people did.
Yeah, exactly, right. And that was probably the case for like that Netflix one with like Millie Bobby Brown and Chris Pratt. Oh, I was thinking a different one, like Electric State or something like that it was called.
Oh, that also sucks anyway. All the movies they made that Avengers movies suck.
It's weird, right? It's like they've done such a good job with their original like TV roles. They were, part of teams that did like Community and Arrested Development, and then went on to make like Winter Soldier, Civil War, Endgame, Infinity War, and everything else they've been involved with seems to just be arse. And it's like, okay.
It's all mixed to average. Like Grey Man, I think that's Jake Gyllenhaal, or the other one who looks exactly like him, I always forget.
Oh.
I think it is. That was them, I think. Either way, like, not the best like track record outside of the MCU, but like Kirby Air Riders, I'm excited for this. Tell me more about it. Tell me about this one-button game.
Yeah, so Kirby Air Ride is primarily played through the use of a vehicle, many of which are taken from the previous Kirby games, such as the Warp Star, and players take control of Kirby or any of his multicolored counterparts to compete in races or other minigames. And you specifically...
That's for the next game, yeah. They said we need some new characters to play as, because everyone playing as Kirby is kind of weird.
Yeah, you specifically only play as colours of Kirby in Kirby Air Ride, which, again, this is not like a game that we were necessarily familiar with. I'm interested in like maybe picking up the sequel on sale, because it seems like a really cool idea and a really fun game, but it being a full price game, I don't know where the content is. Like, it does seem
like
a
racing
bit
games. Like racing games, you need like 100 fucking tracks for me to want to get in there.
I mean, look at the feedback Mario Kart World got, right? Of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe spent 10 plus years, including the Wii U version, of getting more and more tracks added over time, to the point where they had like nearly 100 tracks in there and a bunch of characters and all this jazz. And Mario Kart World comes out as like a reasonably sized racing game, and people go, oh, there's not enough content here at all. And Kirby Air Riders seems like it's got even less content from what I can tell. A lot of replayable content in terms of like the city trial mode, which is the thing that a lot of people always hail Kirby Air Ride for. But yeah, maybe that's one for me to just like have on my wish list and wait for a sale. But
yeah, I hope for people who are big fans of his series, because that's the thing. Even like Sakurai said in one of the directs, right? I know there's not a lot of call for Kirby Air Ride 2 or Kirby Air Riders, but it's a game I wanted to make, and hopefully people can see the effort we put into making it.
Like, to the point where one of the opening moments of the first, like, hour-long direct that Sakurai did for Kirby Air Riders, he was like, I did ask Nintendo, do you really want to release this a few months later than Mario Kart?
Yeah,
I don't really
another
understand.
mascot racing game.
Like, even Sakurai was like, is this a good decision, Nintendo? I don't know about this. Like,
but still, yeah, hopefully it looks fun. I like the idea, like I say, it's a one-button game. So it's a racing game where you never need to accelerate. Your car constantly accelerates, and the only thing you control is whether or not... I think you can turn, right? You can turn.
So whether or not you turn and brake. So it auto-accelerates. You don't need to press an accelerate button. However, what you do is, like, the big A button on that GameCube controller, what it does is makes you brake, and then when you brake, you get, like, really intense steering. So generally it's a lot of, like, big hairpin turns and stuff. It's not as focused on, like, drifting. It's more a lot of really tight, controlled corners where you just smash on the brake, turn really tightly, and then accelerate off again.
It's more akin to a rhythm game when you're looking at gameplay of it, of, like, you don't need to accelerate. Like, your car will always accelerate, and in the first game, you all had the same stats and the same character. So it's realistic of, like, as I said, there's lots of different courses where the real test of skill is the timing required for each corner and whether or not you can perfect that timing. So let's say it's close to a music or rhythm game than a racing game. It builds a racing game, I imagine.
It's kind of racing, and it's kind of car combat adjacent as well. By which I mean, like Twisted Metal, things like that.
They need to bring that back. They made a Twisted Metal TV show, but they didn't release it alongside a game.
Apparently Season 2's really good.
I think it just got really violent. I think they realised this is a really violent video game series. Also, who gives a fuck? It's Twisted Metal.
It's Twisted
Metal. A lot of murder and death in
it. Yeah.
The most iconic character in it is a fucking clown who drives an ice cream truck. Who gives a shit?
Which, is Samoa Joe voiced by Will Arnett, which does not seem to be compatible, but here you go. I genuinely have heard people say, though, that Season 2 was a really good season of TV.
I think it's because they realised they just stopped giving a fuck. And also they put Sweet Tooth in it. I think the first season made the mistake of the single most iconic character from the franchise being adapted is teased throughout the season, rather than being in it from the start to give people a reason to watch. Like, Sweet Tooth is constantly teased, to my knowledge.
Which, I don't actually know the character's name. Sweet Tooth is technically their vehicle, but canonically... it doesn't matter. Like, they're just...
I don't give a fuck.
People call them Sweet Tooth, right? Because I don't
his car's more memorable than he is.
Yeah.
If anything, I don't want, like, Twisted Metal. I want Vigilante 8. That was, like, the Twisted Metal ripoff.
Vigilante 8?
Vigilante 8 was the Twisted Metal ripoff, and it had... the idea is people in cars who were criminals competing. So, like, I think it's like to win, like, freedom or something. And one of the guys I remember is a dude who drives like a big RV, and he's got genetically engineered bees. And he's like the most busted because he's got the most health, but he's got really shit steering and handling. And what I do is, obviously, playing split screen with my brother, pick him, go drive into a corner, make sure I get his special weapon, point my car into a corner so you can't see where I am on the map. Because obviously you can't screen watch who's looking at a corner, and use his special weapon, which is bees that home in no matter where you are. And just keep releasing bees and win the match that way.
My go-to for that kind of game was Cell Damage, if you remember that one.
I don't. That's like, way beyond my scope of knowledge.
It was like this kind of almost like Looney Tunes rip-off-esque car combat game that was like cel-shaded. So it was like cell as in like CEL damage, like cel-shaded. Okay. And yeah, I probably, if you look it up on like Metacritic or whatever, a terrible game, but it was one I that was the one car combat game that, as a kid, I happened to like have interest in.
Yeah, I've looked it up. The characters, he's called Beeswax. And he's just like a hillbilly carrying like a big tub of honey. And some of the other characters include Boogie, who drives a tiny little leprechaun, and his like power is like a big disco ball that just causes like all the cars to bounce up in the air to like the rhythmic beat of his thumping music.
Yeah, it again probably not a great game, but it was just like
I remember it sucking ass, yeah. But obviously, me and my brothers played a shit ton of it, and it was really fun.
Yeah, just one of those ones, right? Of like, hey, it was bright and colourful and looked like a wacky cartoon car game, and I was like, yeah, sure.
I found the one. It's Slick Clyde. So Slick Clyde, he's the one who had he was a storm chaser. That was his gimmick. And he had a lightning rod on the back of his car, and his thing was calling a lightning strike that always hits your opponent, and he was busted as fuck. God. Because obviously, you can hit anyone anywhere on the map with this special move.
But
I thought it was a fun idea, though, right? Of just, there's a storm, like, car combat game. It's the car that has to have the personality, not the person.
Yeah.
How do you give personality to a car? It's like, oh, he's a storm chaser, and put all like the storm chasing elements on there.
Anyway, Karl, going back to Kirby Air Ride here. Just the modes of play. You had Air Ride, which is just, you know, what people probably associate as the main element of the game, where it's like the third person, like from the back, kind of like traditional kart racing kind of game. Then you have Top Ride, which is more akin to like, it's like a top-down racer with small tracks. It's similar to kind of like maybe like for older gamers like an RC Pro-Am or like a Micro Machines or something like that. They don't really kind of make top-down racing games anymore.
No, but I used to remember playing a lot of Micro Machines. I used to love like the Micro Machine games.
Same. And yeah, that seems to be a very kind of throwaway mode for most people. And then the one that people always talked about, as I alluded to earlier, is City Trial, where it's a larger mode where people must navigate a city, and along with several more sections such as like forest, cave, volcano, they grab like items that upgrade their machine for an eventual like timeout mode, where just after you spend like 5 minutes going around this city and etc., picking up upgrades for your machine, you then go
you do the race
into like a minigame or a race or whatever. And
I've seen like the gimmick of it is that you can either focus on powering up your own car or fucking over your opponent.
Yeah, and also in terms of powering up your own car, you can try and be very specific and go for upgrades in a couple of things, like say acceleration or handling.
Min-max into one stat.
Min-max, or you can try and just go for an all-rounder vehicle so that no matter what minigame pops up, you're prepared for anything. But if someone that's against you has prepped specifically for one minigame and gets lucky, they're just going to outright beat you.
Yeah, what's like the most you've ever min-maxed in a game where you were like, oh, this is not fair? Like, where you min-max too hard? Because I've like been playing through Borderlands 4. Like, this is my background game. I've got half an hour. I'll just do like, a boss in Borderlands 4. I've got a run with like the siren in that game that it's built entirely around lifesteal. And I've got like so much lifesteal that the moment I get a single kill, she can't die because she has so much lifesteal on her attacks. The enemy can't out DPS my healing. So I can just walk up to a boss and just stand in their face with a shotgun and just hold the trigger down. And I won't die because just the amount of lifesteal I have means it's impossible to kill her.
I think the most powerful I've probably felt in terms of like a difficult situation in a video game is in Destiny 2, when I made a build that was built around like just dodging and punching, and I'd managed to like figure out the build enough where I joined like a raid on the hard mode with randoms, and I was stuck like I put myself in a situation where I put myself right in the enemy spawn where there was infinite enemies coming out. And bear in mind, this is like a hard raid mode, so you are getting hit very, very hard. But I was punching back hard enough where as long as I kept my 20-second timer up, I was one-shotting every enemy that came out of doors and keeping myself alive, because every time I kill an enemy with a punch, it regenerates my health, and every time I dodge, it re-ups the perk and stuff. And it got to the point where these random people that were raiding with me were like, what the hell is your build? Because you're just in there and you can't die. What is going on? Are you hacking the game or something? I'm like, no, I just found a really fun build that I can just dodge, punch, stay alive.
Yeah. There's a couple the looter shooters are really good for that. In Borderlands again, one of the other builds, one of the other characters, one of their special abilities is, as long as they're moving, they have damage, they reflect bullets. There's a chance to reflect bullets, and the faster they move, the higher that chance is. And I got that, and then I got a shield that has a 30% chance to either absorb, and then an additional 30% chance to reflect bullets. And then I got a Hyperion weapon that has when the shield's up, so when you're aiming down the gun, a 30% chance to absorb, a 30% chance to deflect. So as long as I am moving and looking down sight, there is literally zero damage. I don't take any damage from bullets, and in fact have infinite ammo, and I'm constantly deflecting bullets in every conceivable direction at once, as long as that character's moving.
I also, I did forget as well, one, clutch element to the build I had was when I get the kill, I also, because of, my exotic item, went invisible. So, if I needed a moment to, go do an objective, I had, 10 seconds of invisibility to go do something. So it was just, it's insanely busted. And I love builds like that where, similar to...
It's the beauty of video games, right? You don't get that while reading a book.
When you sit there and figure out the maths yourself of, well, if I put these things all together and combine all these perks and etc., I can just be this immortal god being in this looter shooter or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, it's like figuring out an obscure bit of tech in a video game, or an interaction that's uncommon, but then building your playstyle around that interaction because it's so uncommon, no one knows how to react to it. It's fun. I imagine it's similar with Kirby Air Ride, because there's so limited. You have such limited control over your vehicle. The amount of control that you do have is incredibly fine.
Yeah, and I would encourage people to maybe have a look at Kirby Air Riders, because again, maybe it seems like the game is a little bit not thin in terms of content, but it relies on you wanting to replay a lot of modes from the looks of it.
Also, the way we're describing it is a 1-button, 2-button game now. I think they added a second button for Air Riders.
A super, yeah.
Yeah, it might sound like it's very limited in terms of what you can do. We'd highly recommend go looking at, as I did, because I wasn't too familiar with the series, those directs from Sakurai, where you look and go, there's a lot of depth here, despite there only being 2 ways to interact with the game, which is why it's so impressive. The amount of interactions they have.
It's similar to Smash Bros, though, of Smash Bros is what, kind of a...
Smash Bros is technically a 2-button fighter.
It's built around being a 2-button fighter, but it's kind of more a 4-button fighter when you put in shield and jump. But
that's the thing as well. But realistically, in Smash Bros, you have 2 buttons that attack, and it's a fighting game, and it's arguably the fighting game, if you consider it to be a fighting game, which I do. It's the fighting game with the most amount of finesse. I can't think of another fighting game that requires as much moment-to-moment mechanical precision as Smash Bros does at the highest level.
On paper, maybe the simplest competitive fighting game that you'll find at a tournament, but in practice, it's probably the most complex and complicated. Or maybe
the
not.
Only one I could think.
Maybe not complicated. Maybe has the most depth.
The amount of button presses that are happening, I think it's close to think of StarCraft, where I think someone broke down a professional melee player of here's a 5-second clip. The professional player did 100 different button inputs in the space of that 5 seconds. You compare it to StarCraft, where in StarCraft it's actions per second or action per minute or something. It's it's upwards of 100 actions every couple of seconds.
Yeah,
at the lowest level of the high level.
That's people being able to press 10 buttons at once on a keyboard, potentially, if you're using all your digits.
Whereas... Yeah, I know StarCraft is a completely different beast and there's a lot of inputs there, but with Smash Bros, like I said, you have 2 buttons. There's special and attack.
And then, as I say...
And there's a lot of things you can do with those 2 things.
There's jump and shield, and technically there's a grab button if you want it to be, but that's just shield and attack combined. It's...
Yep.
There's technically not even 5 buttons.
it's the video game equivalent of like when you look at like how many, like a deck of cards, how many shuffles are for a deck of cards? Theoretically infinite. Or like as close to infinite as matters. I think they say like with a deck of cards, you could shuffle a deck of cards from now until the end of for the next billion years and never get the same shuffle twice.
In theory, obviously in practice, there's obviously people that have shuffled the same level of cards.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, in theory, mathematically, you could go for like thousands,
the amount of theoretical interactions that can happen
before you get the same shuffle again.
Yeah, I think it's like the only fighting game at least, I think that has like even close to what Smash Bros does would be Virtua Fighter. Where Virtua Fighter is like just the game where high-level Virtua Fighter players have gone and played like Street Fighter tournaments and won without understanding how the game works. All they need to know is like, okay, what's the frame data on the interactions? Like what move beats out what? And they can beat pretty much anybody because to them, other fighting games appear to be moving in slow motion. Because Virtua Fighter is like frames, like fractions of a second on some of the inputs and reactions. That any other fighting game is like playing on baby mode. It's like going from like expert on Guitar Hero to easy mode.
That's the thing though, right? It's like Virtua Fighter is pinned as like a virtual fighter. It's meant to be a complicated game. Smash Bros.
And Joe, how many inputs Virtua Fighter has? 2. Punch and kick.
There you go.
It's punch, kick, block. So 3.
Oh, okay.
And it's the most mechanically complex fighting game out there. Say for Smash Bros. If you see it to be a fighting game.
Which is funny because we're saying this before you even take into account the fact that there can be up to 8 players and items on and stage hazards on. Like,
yes, which is why people don't consider it a fighting game, because that removes that adds luck rather than skill into the mix. And a fighting game realistically should be skill. You want skill to be the deciding factor.
A competitive fighting game should be like when you're
like,
at a tournament and money is on the line, you want skill to be the determining factor. Yeah,
it's why football doesn't have multi-ball mode. As fun as that would be,
it would be great though. Oh, but Karl, I just briefly need to take a break to grab a drink, and then we'll go into your subject, if that's good.
No problem, yeah. I'll be back in a sec.
So, Karl, we are back from our break, and I guess we should just probably, as usual, do a little bit of housekeeping before we get into your topic.
Very important, yes. What do we have to keep of the house?
The keeping of the house, probably just something to, like, announce rather than, like, be very important, is just that, hey, we put up like our votes for the videos of like December on our Patreon up for everyone, just so a few more people could have a say and get involved. And for
the final video we'll release this year, each of us. So
is that the plan? Are we gonna
imagine so? Right, they'll be the last videos.
Well, I don't.
Usually our Patreon picks are always the last videos that we upload in a month, normally.
They usually
quite
are,
fitting, right?
That's usually just because I'm bad at scheduling the votes, so not because...
You know what, Lucas, you can put yours wherever you want this month, but mine was very thematically themed around it being the final video I recorded, or at least edited and uploaded this year.
Yeah, so mine is going to be Christmas themed, so I guess I'll just put it out in the closest, like, time frame to Christmas.
The closest episode to Christmas.
Yeah, so... For yourself, Karl, it looks like you're going to be doing a video. Your vote was roughly around like the idea of like something either you've like kind of done in 2025 or want to do in 2026 or stop.
Yes, that was the basic idea.
And
so like my questions were like something that a video centered around something that I've started doing in 2025, something I stopped doing in 2025, something I want to start doing in 2026, or something I would like to stop doing in 2026, and find a video topic that roughly centered around that idea, and then use it as a jumping off point for a discussion about those sort of things.
So I don't know,
new hobbies, old habits.
I don't know if you want to like reveal what the topic itself would be, but I
need to have a think because.
That like seems to be winning at the moment, which we'll be recording tomorrow, will be something Karl wants to try in 2026.
Okay, well that will like remain a mystery until I talk about it. But like an example is something I started doing in 2025. I'm trying to get like a new skill each year. I don't care realistically how good I am at the skill. I just would like to try and learn something new, so I'm constantly improving at something. or I at least have like something that makes me, in my opinion, a more rounded person and gives me something to talk about with new people or old friends than just I watch TV. So the thing I wanted to learn this year is piano. I bought myself a keyboard. I've been on and off learning to play keyboard. I can play a couple of chords now. I can kind of play with two hands. I can play a few popular ditties. Well, that would have been I would have found something like piano related if that was the winner of the vote. It's not been. It's the skill that I'm hoping to learn in 2026. I've not announced that yet because I'm still thinking of what I want to learn.
There's
a couple of ideas that I've had.
I had the vibe that when you're like, I'm not going to reveal it just yet, it was like, because Karl hasn't figured it out yet.
Because broadly, I don't want to learn. I am not dead set on learning a specific skill. I would just like, here's something that I don't know how to do, that if I try and learn how to do it, because I am a complete and utter novice, I'll learn something. Like, start of this year, I didn't know how to play a chord on a piano. Now I do. That's a new skill that I have. Is it an important skill? No. Is it a new skill? Yes.
I do, however...
Has the process of learning that skill made me a more rounded person? I think so. And that's my idea.
It's a cool thing, I think, to aim for. Is just like, why not keep learning new skills and keep learning new things? But I think that's admirable. I do, however, feel called out because you were like, well, I just want to have something to talk about with friends other than what did I watch, and I'm like, that's all we do.
That's 90% of our content, right?
This is like, what did we watch this week?
No, it's more like I just think it's a good idea, just as a person, because the reason it was is inspired by when I bought the place that I live now, and I thought to myself of, like, I'm going to live here for 10 years, like, perhaps the rest of my life. When I'm here, when I'm like 40. What version of myself am I going to be? An older, fatter version, most likely. So I thought to myself of, I want to, the same way I'm going to improve this place that I'm living and add like there'll be new photos, got new paintings, there'll be new furniture, the space fits to my needs and the way I choose to live in it. I'd also like for myself as a person to grow. And one of the ways I thought I could do that is learning a new skill. Even if it's a skill that I'm not very good at, it's still a new skill.
Yeah, you don't
it's
want to
still
be...
something that I feel... Like, I'm growing as a person, even if the way I'm growing is by learning something I'm bad at.
Like, you just don't want to be stagnant as a person, is ultimately the
Exactly.
goal.
That's why, like, the one from, like, if this had been 2 years ago, the thing that I would have talked about is aerobics. Because a couple of years ago, I wanted to learn an entire aerobics routine from the 80s. I didn't get the spandex or anything, but I did learn the full routine. I don't still do it today, but probably, like, once or twice a month when I want to do cardio, I'll put that video up and I'll do it from start to finish. It's an hour-long aerobics routine, and I can do it. And as a result, I'm able to, like, I can't do it on camera, but I've, like, learned, like, flexibility, for example, to stick my leg... I can't even shot on camera, but like, sticking my leg all the way up and flat, which is something I couldn't do. So even though it's only a minor thing, but it's something I couldn't do when I started. And my thought was, after, like, 10, 15 years of doing this, maybe the version of the person that I am will be able to do a lot more stuff.
Just coughing out. That was Kathy something, right?
Kathy Smith, yes.
Kathy Smith.
Kathy Smith. I just Googled aerobics routine. So at the first day of 2024, I just Googled aerobics routine, clicked on the first one I did and went, okay, this is it. I'm going to practice this every other day until I can do it start to finish. And it took me till halfway through the year.
Fair enough. Yeah. And speaking of which, like, I'm not going to make content about it. I would, however, if anyone has experience, like advice on, like, a better way than, like, stupid phone apps to learn some Japanese, because I'm going...
Oh, okay, so that's one of the skills that you're trying to teach yourself.
Yeah, I like the fact that I used to know quite a bit of French, and I recently came across, like, a French person that didn't really speak English in my workplace, and I felt bad that I'd forgotten so much that I couldn't even communicate.
I hate that feeling when it's something you could do but can no longer do, and it makes you feel like, oh no, it's like a muscle's been atrophied.
Yeah,
right.
And I was like, oh, it's been so long since, because I used to go to France quite a lot, because I used to go to Disneyland Paris quite a lot, and yeah, it's kind of one of those of I kept my French skills up by practicing when I would go, and like, yeah, it's one of those, if it's been a few years and I couldn't even like try and communicate with them in French anymore because I remembered that little of it. And it's just something that obviously I talk about a lot of like Japanese media on here, like anime and a lot of like Nintendo video games and PlayStation video games and stuff. Like Japanese is something I would like to learn, but I know that it's really hard to learn with like stuff like, you know, like Duolingo and stuff. It's like apparently
it's a difficult language. There's a lot of nuance to a language that I'm only aware of it very, very mindly. Because my ex was like from Japan and she spoke fluent Japanese, and just whenever I saw it, it's like it's too complex.
And I think I have the skills to learn it because I did spend a few years learning Chinese in school. So
it's also like the inclination. It's more about the inclination to learn. You have the inclination to learn.
I want to go full weeb and learn Japanese, but
full weeb would be half learning Japanese and then saying that you speak Japanese.
Yeah, like
that's full weeb. You'd want to
learning the word like nanny and then being like, I can speak Japanese, bro. Like, yeah.
Yeah, you just have an appreciation for the language and would like to improve yourself as a person. You'd like to be a more rounded person because there's literally no downside to learning a second language.
There isn't, no. And it's not like something every day that's going to come up, but, you know, I would aspire to at some point like go back to Japan and be able to speak Japanese because it's the favorite place like I've ever visited on a holiday destination. So, yeah.
Not to mention as well, it's like there's a great quote about there's like motivational quotes that like put people on their ass. Like there's a famous one about exercise. Arnold Schwarzenegger was asked, Mr. Schwarzenegger, when's the best time to start exercising? Yesterday. Like these are very succinct, like just sayings or answers to questions that just like put people on their ass of. Like on the back foot, like emotionally speaking of, I think it's like someone recounting a conversation they had with their mum of like, I don't want to go to medical school because it takes 5 years to learn. It's like, well, in 5 years you'll be 35 and you won't have a doctor. Wouldn't you rather be 35 and a doctor? Or something to that effect? And that's what the way I see it of like, well, it's going to take me like, so that's why I thought piano of like, it takes literally a lifetime to master. I've got a friend who is like a phenomenal pianist. And it's like, how long have you been playing? 15, 20 years. And I'll never be as good as you. And he just told me like, well, you won't be, but in 10 years, you'll be as good as I am now.
Yeah. And
like, what else, like, or you can just not do it and in 10 years, not be able to play piano and still be annoyed that it's a skill that you don't have.
It's one of those frustrating things for me where I have that habit that a lot of people do. I'm not, trying to say I'm individual in this, but trying out something and then immediately getting frustrated that I'm not really good at it. So therefore,
it's very common. It's I think it's New Year's resolution syndrome. Like people get like they bounce off their New Year's resolutions. They approach it really, really aggressively, like New Year, new me, do all this new stuff, and then don't see any progress after like that month and get demoralized and just bounce off.
Yeah, and it's
which I'm guilty of.
Yeah, I'm very guilty of it, and I've had to come to terms with it a little bit in terms of like working out, because I've been doing my best to like, now that I'm kind of hopefully over the need of surgeries again.
Yeah, like a snake bit his face.
Yeah, a snake bit my face many times, but I got to the point where I was like working less and had a bit more time to work out, but now I'm working 2 jobs, one of them being this. I'm like finding myself having less time to work out, but it's trying to come to terms with like the fact that, okay, but you don't need to work out like 5, 6, 7 times a week. Like even if you can just get a workout or 2 in a week, that's better than not.
Yeah, and it's like there's a couple of statistics that are very helpful in regards to that. But I think it's like the average UK adult over 30 engaged in strenuous exercise less than twice a month.
Right. Yeah.
And like people who work, and like the average person goes to the gym less than 1 time a week. I think it's like less than once a month, something stupid like that. Maybe it's a bit higher now because obviously the younger generation kind of pushes it forward a little. But it's like doing something is better than doing nothing. And that's the thing, right? It's like
I've cancelled my gym membership because I found that like it was, gyms are expensive. I'm just like working out at home with some light weights and stuff like that and doing like cardio workouts and stuff. But
Kathy Smith will sort you right out, mate.
Exactly. But it's like at least doing it like, when I can is better than not, right?
Yeah, it's similar to like any skill or thing, right? Of as I said, if I get 10 years time and I'm shit at playing piano, at least I tried.
Mm-hmm.
At least I can say, I tried. It wasn't for me, but I gave it a good go. That's better than sitting there going, well, what? Oh man, I would love to learn that. And at least this way, I can always tell myself whether I learn it or get good at it or stick with it. I can always tell myself like it wasn't for me.
Yeah, I think that's a nice thing to think that way. Like, I think it's a positive way of thinking.
So I've been trying to do for many years now. Like the start of each year, I don't think of like I'm going to learn how to do this. I think what's a new thing that I can start doing to see if I like it. That just gives me a new interesting like perspective on stuff, or a new skill, or a new way to interact with people, or a new group of people to interact with.
Yeah, and on my video vote, going back to the video part, the housekeeping, because we're just in housekeeping for forever at this point. But it's been an interesting conversation. But like,
I'd hope so, yeah. And I'd love to hear from people at home of like, is there any skills that you've like tried to learn this year or looking to learn next year?
Yeah, for sure.
However silly or small they may seem, like something simple like this all started for me like 10, 15 years ago, where I used to do martial arts and I could do the full splits.
Oh, yes.
And an ongoing thing for me to get is to learn to do the full splits again. I'm still close. I'm a nearly 35-year-old guy. It's tough, but I'm learning. I'm practicing like every day. Just a little bit. And eventually I'll get there. But that was inspired by years and years and years ago. I was at a house party and like Never Have I Ever or King's Cup or some Truth or Dare or something. Right. It's like, oh, like do 10 press-ups, do this. And someone was like, touch your toes. And I was like, I can fucking touch my toes. And I went down, I went like a foot away from touching my toes. And I used to be able to touch my toes and put my palms flat on the ground. And I couldn't do it. And I endeavoured from that moment of every day I want to wake up and learn how to do this. And then each year I think of something small that'll require effort to work towards, that I can just fold into my daily routine that hopefully will improve my life in some small way, such as improving my flexibility, improving my hand-eye coordination with playing the piano, with aerobics, improving my cardio. Also gives me something fun to talk about with people.
Yeah.
Makes me less self-conscious about moving around.
And on a very, very opposite note, my vote for the month of December was almost entirely opposite. It was me regressing into talking about one of my favourite Christmas movies. And I basically watch the same handful of Christmas movies every year. And
everybody tends to fall into that's it. Christmas is a period of habits.
I tried my best to kind of like look up what videos we have, like what topics we have spoken about and what topics we haven't. I think I'm surprised that I haven't talked about these things, but when I search them on YouTube and on our channel, like behind the scenes, tags didn't come up for these things. So my vote was like Elf, Home Alone, Nightmare Before Christmas, and Bad Santa, I think it was. And Home Alone is currently in the lead with a little bit of time left. Nightmare Before Christmas is right behind it. So I'll probably be talking about Home Alone. And if I have, I'll like double and triple check. If I have talked about Home Alone before, because in my head, I'm like, I must have done. But maybe
I think we've talked about it just in general. I remember once we talked about Home Alone 4 or the Home Alone reboot with which is fucking terrible. And I actually was rooting for the little kid in the Home Alone reboot to die.
Yeah.
Not like I was rooting for him to get hit by a car.
And in my head, I'm like, I can't believe I haven't made a proper video about Home Alone 1. So I think that's going to win. I think I'm going to make a video about that. But if not, it'll be about Nightmare Before Christmas. But yeah, I did multiple searches for like Wiki Weekends Home Alone videos, and like it doesn't seem like I've ever made one on Home Alone, which I'm really surprised about. So that'll be coming, I presume.
But just two different approaches to the end of the year. Because I was more thinking for the next year. You're thinking of the end of the current year.
Yeah, in my brain, I'm like, what am I going to use to like kind of nostalgia bait myself into Christmas time? Yeah,
like bookend of the year.
Yeah, so Christmas is a lot about like tradition to me. So yeah.
Whereas I'm not really I love Christmas, but I'm not a very Christmassy person. I'm all up forward to the new year.
Like, I basically...
I look forward to like the catharsis of the clean start.
I hit like 15, 16 years old and decided like, this is my Christmas forever now. So yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Karl, what topic have you got for us today? Sorry for this conversation dragging out so long.
No problem. Well, speaking of Christmas, and this being the first podcast in the month of December, I thought I'd bring the wiki on what I think every British guy listening to this can relate to. And it is Axe/Lynx body spray.
Oh, no.
So, Lucas, you must be aware, as a guy in his 30s, what is the most common gift you get from aunties, uncles, cousins who don't know you that well as a guy when you're in your late teens to early 20s? What is the gift you get from?
I thought you were going to say
members?
Nowadays, and I was like, I've got quite a close, like, extended family. They all know that that's like not an acceptable gift. I normally just get like some chocolate or something from them, right?
Yes.
But yeah, when you're specifically in like your late teens, it is the Lynx Africa boxer, which Lynx over here is the same as Axe body spray in America. I know we've got a lot of Americans listening, but yeah.
We do. So, for the American fans, Axe or Lynx is a French brand of male grooming products owned by the London-based company Unilever, and is marketed towards the younger male demographic. So myself and Lucas will say Lynx, but that's Axe. So when we say Lynx, think Axe body spray. And hey, Lucas, I just went into my bathroom during the break, and I grabbed...
No, you haven't got Lynx in your flat, Karl.
So I still get these body sets from, like, you know, aunties and uncles who don't know me that well, and it's like, well, I don't want to not get Karl something. Also, spoilers, I never want anything for Christmas. I'm one of those people like, don't get me anything for Christmas. You can get me a card. If we see each other before Christmas, buy me a drink, I'll buy you a drink. I'm not fussed. And all my parents both know when it's Christmas time, what do you want, Karl? I want socks, and that's it.
I mean,
we'll go for buy me a meal. Don't get me any. I don't want anything. Get me socks.
Yeah,
I'm happy with socks.
I think as like our friend group is pretty like similar in that vein of like we all just kind of buy each other a drink when it's like birthday or Christmas or something.
Yeah.
Ironically, most of our birthdays all fall around the exact same time anyway.
But you're aware of like for like, you know, 10, 15 years that you've known me. I celebrate my birthday, but I don't want presents. I don't want cards. Same for Christmas. I don't want cards. I don't want presents.
And again, like, it kind of became a tradition out of probably being poor students, but just all of our friends kind of agreed of like, hey, it's no pressure. Just kind of all just like buy each other a drink when it's our birthday.
Yeah, we'll meet up for like a night out or something and just like, you know, spend the time. Because that's the thing, as I got older, it sounds really like, you know, corny, but the thing I appreciate is spending time with people.
Yeah.
Same like for my dad, it's like, I don't really want a present for him, I just want to spend the time with him. And he always gets me something silly, like he always gets me like socks or like a bottle of whiskey or something like that. And I always insist that don't get anything too expensive. Same as he always sells me.
A really frustrating thing my dad does, and me and my sisters get really annoyed by it. Of like,
does he still put money in your card? You know, I don't want the money. I'm good for the money, Dad.
I'm never gonna, you know, turn up 20 quid. But
no one's ever going to turn their nose for money, right?
It's
but
when
dads always do that thing where they say, "Oh, I'm not going to get you anything," then give you. It's like,
no, it's not that frustrates us, because that's just like him being nice. It's he will tell us that all he wants for his birthday is to go for a meal with us. So we're like, okay, great.
I know exactly where you're going with this.
He fucking pays for the meal. And it's like,
that's what my dad does.
It's so annoying.
For example, like this Christmas, I called my dad yesterday, in fact, and he says, like, for Christmas time, we're coming around to drop presents off on this date. And I'm like, well, also we need to work out on taking you and your fiance out for a meal. And I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. Let us know where you want to go and we'll pick you up. It's like, no, I'm taking you out for a meal. And I know he'll try and pay for it.
Yeah.
Or he'll send me money after the fact. It's like, no, it's your present.
Like, the last couple of times we've taken him out, as we're all adults with jobs, and we've gone, no, Dad, like, we're taking you out for your birthday. We'll pay for a meal for you. And then he, like, sneaks off and goes and pays the bill. And it's like...
But it's such a dad thing, right?
It is. And he's just being nice. And, like, obviously, it's not something we genuinely get, like, troubled by or anything. but it's just like that little thing of like, we're just trying to treat you to something for once. Like,
yeah, and in the same way, I've heard the horror stories about like people who, when they say I don't want any presents, actually get irate when they get a present. I will always appreciate a present, but the problem is I appreciate presents too much. And it's to the point where, like, when I was doing like my deep clean of my flat a couple of days ago, I had to like grab some stuff. It's like, okay, I've still got birthday cards from 2 years ago. Okay, they're going to go into the box of birthday cards that I have. Oh, that box is full. I need to buy a new box. And that's why, because I hold on to stuff. I'm so sentimental. I don't like asking for gifts because when people give me them, I refuse to get rid of them. And obviously, I'm thinking ahead of like 20, 30 years down the line. I'm like on an episode of Hoarders.
Yeah, I'm going to endeavour to like find a gift for you that is so awful that you will actually get rid of.
Well, that's the thing. I refuse to, and that's the problem. And so, for example, next year, it's not what I'm going to talk about in the video, but one of the things I'm going to do is a good friend of mine's asked me, what do you want for Christmas? And I'll tell you what, there's something I've not told my parents I want because I know they won't get me specifically what I'm asking for, and get me a journal. Specifically get me a plain journal, because I know if I ask my mum, she'll get one with like, 2026 is my year or some shit on it. So get me a plain like leather-bound journal. Don't spend more than like a tenner on it. Because something I want to start doing next year so I don't keep getting crap in my house from events is I want to just, when I go hang out with somebody, get a receipt or a bar, like what they're called now, a cup, beer mat, something like that. You go for a drink, someone the receipt from a meal, a concert stub, and just put it in this journal right when I got it, who I've seen the person on that day, and then I can shut it, and at the end of the year, rather than having like 2 shelves worth of stuff or a box, I've got a journal and I can put that on a shelf. And then 2027, I'll do the same thing, and then I can build a shelf, and that'll have my memories in it rather than these boxes. So I've got like 4 or 5 shoe boxes full of photos and knickknacks and mementos and holiday souvenirs and postcards and birthday cards, and it's getting real bad.
Yeah,
and that's why I don't want presents. I'm too sentimental.
I do still have things that, like, it's gone to the point where I have things from my childhood that I am sentimental about because they're in my memory box, but I don't know why they're in my memory box anymore.
And you also don't want to get rid of them.
And I don't want to get rid of them because I know that, like, when I look at them, they still have sentimental value, but I don't necessarily know, like, where it came from anymore.
Or where it could go on display, because either it wouldn't fit into the aesthetic of the place in which you live, or it's too delicate.
Mm-hmm. And
so that's why, like, I ask for no presents. I'm not one of the arseholes who's like, don't get me presents and gets mad when they get one. Because, like, I now have to reciprocate and buy you a present of equal or greater value. It's like, no, because if you get me a present, I want to feel really bad. If, one, I don't like it, or 2, I use it and it breaks, or when it runs out.
All that you need to know about that kind of situation is that it was a joke on Big Bang Theory of, like, Sheldon needing to outgift other people because he had to, as you say, reciprocate with an exact value or greater gift. And it's like, if that's where you are in life, that was a shit joke on Big Bang Theory. You probably should like figure yourself out a bit. Like, it's not that deep. It's not that bad. But yeah,
I've cultivated friendships and relationships where like the gift giving between us is not reciprocal. Well, like, that's my justification. I thought I'd just like clarify that. But getting back to the topic I brought, like Axe or Lynx body spray. So I do have aunties and uncles and cousins and stuff who get me those Lynx body sprays, and because of the previous sentimentality I mentioned earlier, I don't throw them away. I use them. So I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, including a big one. That's the big Africa.
So
the big kind of Lynx Africa that are in my bathroom that I try to use whenever I go to the gym or something, and I will refuse to throw it away because these were gifts, and they cannot be thrown away until they have been used in their entirety.
It would be wasteful.
And this is why I don't like getting gifts, because I will do this for everything I'm given.
Like, yeah, it would be wasteful to get rid of them and not use them, but...
Or give them away as well. I also don't like giving away or re-gifting gifts.
And
for the same reason.
Yeah, like, it's interesting that you got a variety of sprays there, because it used to only be, when we were teenagers, the Africa set.
Well, you know what, Lucas? Let's do a smell sample, shall we? So the first one I have is Lynx Ice Chill. And this is supposedly iced mint and lemon. So let's do it like we would like a high-end fragrance. Smells like Lynx.
Okay.
Next one we have is Epic Fresh Grapefruit and Tropical Pineapple. Smells like Lynx. Next one we have is Crisp Coconut and Black
on
Pepper.
The same spot, you just combine.
It doesn't matter, they all smell the
flavours.
same. All Lynx smells the same. And I only ever use it when I'm going to the gym.
Yeah, I mean,
It is exclusively for, before you go to the gym, you got to give it the gentleman special of crisscross, pull open like your gym shorts, once down there and then once up the top. The gentleman special, like crisscross, down there for dancing, up there for laughing.
And I do hate the fact that as well, Lynx is not even an antiperspirant.
It's not, and that's the problem as well. It's not even. It's an anti. It's just. It makes you smell nice, and it doesn't smell of anything. It just smells like.
It smells bad. Barely smells of anything, or is aggressively bad smelling.
Scent. Yes, and to the point where people recognise it as it is the smell of just Americans, no doubt know about it. It's what teenage boys smell like when they go through puberty. That's why it has such an aggressive smell because it's covering up puberty like sweat.
Like
a lot of the time,
some of them are too mild and some of them are overly aggressive. There doesn't seem to be an in between.
And as you mentioned, they're not antiperspirants, so they don't even have utility. Because I do have an antiperspirant. The antiperspirant I use like the roll-on, but I also have like I've got sensitive skin. I'm a sensitive boy. I use like stuff developed for women because it smells nicer.
Oh, it smells way nicer.
Also, I don't want stripes. So like, why is it like the women's ones like, oh, it leaves no marks on your clothes? Like, why are guys okay with having marks on their clothes when they wear antiperspirant?
Like, why is it that the women's ones are like, do you want to smell like flower blossom or citrus fresh, and the men's ones are like leather?
I will be honest, there's a couple of scents that I don't like that I do like. So my signature scent, this is something I asked for one year. So when I do ask for a gift, I want something that I'm going to use a lot or that I would like, that I would appreciate and find value in. Is one year I asked, I want to find my signature scent. I think all men should have their own signature scent. Every man.
Well, I think
Joe, when you're younger,
be, right?
Yeah, I think but I'm thinking most people as a guy. I think when I hug my dad, he has an aftershave, and that's my dad's aftershave. And when I smell that, that's my dad. And I thought I'd like that. I'd like to have like an aftershave or a scent or something like that. When people give me a hug or they start saying, "Oh, yeah, that's Karl's scent." I like that.
So a weird thing that I heard the other day. Like I'm not going to call them out, but someone was telling me that like, hey, I had like a person that I used to work with, and like they worked with them and their boyfriend, like as in their own boyfriend, not the other person's boyfriend. And like this third person would go into like, the shop or whatever and be like, "Oh, I could smell that you were here," to like this person's boyfriend. And it's like, it's so like, I know what you mean of like a person having their signature scent, but I feel like it's so creepy to be like, I could smell that you were
I'd hate
here.
I don't want people to comment on the fact I would just like it if, like I do like when I hug my dad goodbye, and it's like that it's as well. They say smell is one of the senses that has the most like memory attached to it. That's why like people can remember like years later the smell of freshly cut grass. They don't remember, and it helps like trigger any time. It's like, I would like it if, years down the line, like friends of mine, people I form close relationships with, would perhaps have that moment where I like, I've had it a couple of times when I'm walking down the street and I smell someone's perfume and it reminds me of an ex. It's like, oh, my ex used to wear that perfume. It's like, I've not thought about that person in 10 years, but that smell made me think of them. That's a powerful emotion. That's a powerful sensation. Why would I not want that? So what I asked for is get me just a selection of like really small samplers for scent so I can find my scent.
That's fair enough.
And my signature scent at the moment is Acqua di Parma. So I wear Acqua di Parma, and it is the, I don't know what it's called, but it's like the blackcurrant one. It's a really nice, like soft, citrusy scent. It makes me smell like a cool breeze.
I kind of like do the opposite. I obviously, long-time viewers will be aware of like me with my hair. I like to switch things up a lot. I just like go through one. Like right now, I'm using like a a body mist rather than like an aftershave or anything, or a perfume. And like I've currently got like a coconut oil body mist, so I'm smelling like coconut oil right now. And then like when that runs out, I'm just gonna go get something entirely different and find another thing.
That's it. Obviously there's something to be said about as well, like just smelling nice in general. But I like that idea. It's like, and in regards, like you said, like manly smells. There's a friend of mine who's like, he used this, I don't know what the scent is, but it's like sandalwood. Right. So he smells like a sauna.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when he's in my house and he'll like sit down, it's like, fucking hell, mate, you smell really good. And he's like, yeah, that's right.
I did.
And it's sandalwood, so he smells like a sauna. Do you like that smell of when you get into a sauna? Yeah. And it's that really nice, like, wood scent. I'm like, oh, that's a really good, and obviously I'm not going to steal his scent. And he's even commented on the fact that his fiancée, now wife, buys him bottles of that because she just loves the way that it smells.
God, that would be a power play of having a collection.
Steal someone's scent.
Having it,
steal them.
Build a collection of the scents that your friends use and like label them. And every time you go out for like a drink with one of them, wear their scent. Like, battle them on scent.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing as well, and that's why I like Lynx. I don't like it, but I'll find use for it, and the utility I have for it is, am I going to the gym? Even though I know it probably doesn't do anything, it just, for me, okay, it gives me an excuse to use it. It's the done thing, but let's bring it back now, Lucas.
I was going to just mention Lynx. If I did double check, and there was one scent that I walked past at one point of a Lynx that really threw me off, and I just double checked it, and it was leather and cookies.
And the problem is none of them smell like what they say.
They don't, but like I'm like, what is the like demographic here? What is the person?
The demographic is teenage
you're
boys.
Appealing to? But what teenage boy says I want to smell like leather and cookies?
Do you know what I bet it is? It's like, that's clearly aimed at younger generation. People who are on TikTok and social media it needs to be something different and distinct that stands out so people will buy it. It needs to have shelf appeal, which admittedly,
memorable.
Lynx does. When you think of like, aim at a teenage boy, it being in like the jet black with like the splash of colour across the front of it and it having like this clicky thing on top, and the fact it's like, it's like a gun. There is like a lot of like tactile like feedback you get from a can of Lynx.
Product. I will say that. But I do think to like the other ones that like specifically we make a lot of fun of like, you know, the man wipes,
the tactical stuff like dude wipes or man yogurt. It's not quite that because it's aimed at teenage boys, and I think teenage boys, they just want something that has it stands out. It's like this block uniform colour that stands out on a shelf. My shelf in my other room looks like it belongs to a very, very like health obsessed woman in her 20s who's on TikTok a lot, because it's all like Korean skincare and shit like that, because I'm like way into all that stuff.
Yeah, like it is very tactfully done rather than those like, you know, man wipes and things like that. It's
I can see the connective thread between them, but I don't think they're quite the same.
It's definitely not the same.
Edgy teenagers are a bit different.
It's definitely not the same, but yeah, like it's that fine line of they've clearly developed a product for like mostly kind of like teenage guys / young adult guys without having to put like men and like camo on it and stuff like that. It doesn't
quite lean into like the sexism aspect it sets in the advertising, which is mentioned on here. So products. So Lynx, aka Axe, was launched in France in 1983 by Unilever. It was inspired by another of their brands, Impulse. So Impulse is just a brand of body sprays they had in France. Unilever introduced many products in the range, but was forced to use the name Lynx in the United Kingdom, Australia, Ireland, and New Zealand due to trademark issues with the Axe name. Right. So the reason it's called Lynx over here is because Axe was already the name of another brand. It doesn't say which brand, but they couldn't use it.
I think Lynx is a way better name. I'm just going to say
I prefer Lynx.
But that...
Just because Lynx sounds sleek.
Yeah.
Cool, like an animal. Whereas Axe, it sounds too aggressive.
Yeah.
It also doesn't...
Axe, to me, doesn't give across the idea of, like, a body spray, like, obviously.
I know you can say that about Lynx, because that's a fucking big cat, but at least, like, Lynx, like, something sleek and cool, and...
I think also Lynxes are probably lesser known enough that I don't immediately
more associated with the brand than it...
with a cat. rather than the
It
brand.
reminds me, there was a great interview, like Pitbull was going around the other day of like, people talk about like me not being a big rapper, but if you Google Pitbull, I come up before the dog. It's like that, right? If you Google links in the UK from like a Google account based in the UK, your chances are you'll get the product before you get the animal.
I wonder.
Whereas
I'm going to try that
axe
out.
is such a genericized term. Try it, yeah. Just Google links now, see what comes up.
So I just Google the word links.
And I guarantee that if you put links Africa, even though I believe the links does live in Africa, I believe you'll get the product, the body spray, the body wash, than you would the animal that actually lives in Africa.
Hey, to be fair, when I put just the word links into Google, the first suggested thing comes up, Lynx deodorant, but the entire first page is all about the cat.
Okay.
So
either way, still, I agree with you. Plus, well, the word lynx, it sounds a bit less aggressive than axe. Axe has that X in there, that really hard consonant. I know lynx has that too, but it has the soft, plosive, like, L before it, so it sounds a bit less aggressive from a marketing standpoint, which is something people probably don't give a shit about, so let's move on. Scents have evolved over time. From 1983 to 89, the variant names were descriptions of the fragrances and included musk, spice, amber, oriental, and marine. And I love, like, scents that don't tell you what they smell like and try and sell the idea of what they smell like. It's like Chanel No. 5, Obsession, Calvin Klein. It's like, the fuck does it smell like?
That's the thing, right? It's like even Lynx Africa. It's like, what does that mean? What? Everyone knows what Lynx Africa smells like. If you've
it smells like every other can of Lynx that you're buying.
But Lynx, like, what does that mean? You're aiming for smell wise? Like, at least the one where it's like, oh, it's a mint one. Like, you know what they're aiming for. But
do you know what body wash I really respect for this? Original Source.
Oh, yeah.
Original Source. So Original Source, I'm not sure if it's a thing in America. It must be, because there must be an equivalent. But Original Source is it's a basic body wash. It's not that expensive. It's like on the cheaper end. But it's called Original Source, and it comes in a clear plastic bottle. And the scent, I was going to say flavour then, doesn't taste like that. The scent.
Trust me, they taste like it too.
It has a couple of like popular scents like lemon, mint, and I think one's like coconut.
Yeah.
And they make the soap. For the mint one, the soap is bright green.
Yeah.
The lemon one, bright yellow. The coconut one, pure white.
And like to this day, the body wash that I buy, it's just basic, it's cheap. The mint one, you want to be careful with.
Well, I was going to say, like, the joke of, like, there is a running joke in the UK if you're a man. If you use, like, the Original Source mint body, like, the mint body wash, you will have very tingly balls.
Yeah.
Because you do, that tingly sensation is part of the marketing. Yeah. It's part of, like, the appeal of the brand. That, like, you know, it's like brushing your teeth with, like, really, really minty toothpaste or having, like, really minty mouthwash. Of you wash your body with it, it does make you feel refreshed because mint has that cooling effect on your body. I never feel like that when I wash myself with, like, Lynx. Because I, obviously, when I've got the shampoo, I've got to use it, so I'll use it when I'm going to the gym or something. Fuck it.
The gift pack is always, like, what's the third thing? So there's the deodorant, there's the shampoo / body wash.
And you get the detailer.
Okay, yeah. You
get, like, the body poof that's inside, like, the matte black, like, hand-holdy thing that looks like a ninja star.
Because,
which admittedly is really good. I like that. That's really good for, like, you know, like scrubbing like your legs and stuff.
One thing that I just never get over is how many people use like body wash as shampoo.
Oh, I can't stand it. Like, well, that's the thing. I've got my luscious head of hair, so it's my grooming routine. My hair. The only thing that touches my hair is Ozzy. Because I had a old housemate. He's in a band, and he had a sick power metal mane, and he had the most immaculate head of hair. And when I lived with him, I just went into a shower and he just had this giant bottle of Aussie like hair wash and conditioner. And I asked, is that all you use? And that's all I use. I went, well, this is the best head of hair I've ever seen on a man. I'm going to use that shit. And it smells nice too.
Meanwhile, I've just...
And it's like £7 a bottle.
Yeah.
It's more expensive than... Like, but it's worth it for me because like one big bottle lasts like 6 months. So that's like £1 a month to wash my hair.
No, yeah, exactly. Like, it's a worthy investment. I use similar kind of
especially
products.
As well, it's your hygiene, right? Like, what better thing could you be investing in, like, you know, your personal hygiene?
Yeah, and
it's the number one thing people get judged for in like a social setting.
I've been blessed with awful genetics, and now I have to put like minoxidil in my hair and shit.
But you've got that great, nice, big, bushy beard. What would you use to condition your beard to keep it nice and fresh?
So I use a beard conditioner from Lush called Kalamazoo, or beard shampoo, and then normally put like some kind of beard oil in there as well.
Make it smell nice.
Yeah. But also just detangles it a little bit and makes it look a little bit fresher.
It's the important thing, yeah. And it's like, I always use Aussie for both the shampoo and the conditioner. As I said, I use Korean skincare. I like a variety of brands. I'm constantly experimenting with like what works for my skin. Specifically, it's like Cosirex, it's like CosRX, which uses snail mucin. Because I read a study, it was a really interesting study where someone was in like a Korean snail farm and noticed that like there's women who've worked there who are like 60 years old and they've got the hands of like 20-year-olds. And like these women have no like signs of aging on their hands at all, but the rest of them have aged normally as if they're like a 60-year-old person who like goes out in the sun.
Yeah.
And just apparently it's just something in snail mucus that just like is so good for your skin. So I've got this entire like snail like skincare routine, and I specifically they have this, it's factor 50 SPF every day, and it's like water. It's so thin that you put it on your skin. It's like washing your face with water, because I break out if I use like heavier sun cream. I've never found any other like SPF that feels like that light.
Yeah, I've changed.
Now, it costs quite a bit.
Yeah, I've changed tactics. It's a bit more expensive, but like going for moisturizers with SPF rather than like sun cream instead. So it's a lot nicer to your skin when I do actually go outside. But yeah, it's one of those things of like you can argue of what level Karl and I look age wise, but I know that like...
Well, I say I'm 34 years old, and the joke I always make is that I'm 34 years old. I moisturise every single day, I drink loads of water, I go to the gym, I vitamins, minerals, do stretching, aerobics, like all that stuff, like all the hair care products and all that stuff, and I look like this. Imagine if I didn't. That means how much worse I look if I didn't.
That's the thing, right? It's like...
So if you think I look bad, I could look way fucking worse.
I at least look at like pictures of my parents when they were my age, and I go, well, like younger than my dad did at this age, so I guess I'm doing something right. But yeah, it's like, yeah, whether you think we look old or young, we'd look older if we didn't do this stuff. So
yeah, not to mention as well, it becomes part. I enjoy the routine.
I don't. I hate having to do it,
okay.
But I do it because I know I feel bad if I didn't, but
I see it the same as like when I get my morning coffee. I like the ritual and the routine of like brewing my morning coffee. But either way, move now on to the next section, marketing. So links / Africa has a very interesting marketing tactic. I'm not sure what it is in the States, but in the UK, it's advertisements variously portray the products as supposedly helping men attract women. That's the classic, right?
There was a marketing campaign they did that I remember when I used to like encounter adverts a lot. So probably about 10 years ago, maybe.
It says here about 2003.
Okay, I don't know whether it's the same one, but like one where...
It notes this has been the start of the campaign that showed nerdy or geeky men using links and attracting buxom women who appear seemingly from nowhere when they use the product.
Right, yeah, because I remember some adverts where like people would use links and like they'd do the little like cross spray on their chest. And then just like a flock of women.
Shows that marketing works. I still do that when I use it.
Yeah, like literally a flock of women would just hoard them out of nowhere.
Yeah, and those adverts were actually so effective that links, the company, like had to start moving away from them because so many of the adverts revolved around like stereotypically nerdy, geeky, unattractive or unconfident men using the product, and then suddenly women find them attractive. In some cases, I think the man even... They'd like get a model, dress him down, put big goofy glasses on him. They'd like show him like transforming into a handsome man. And they always explain it as, oh no, links gives you the confidence of like, a more attractive man. But apart, like, the way people read that advertising is that links is only used by fucking losers who can't get a date.
Right.
And apparently that became so synonymous with the brand, the advertising had to start shifting away from it because their product became associated exclusively with antisocial, unattractive men.
So I don't really remember the geeky part of the aspect. I just remember like, hey, hot man is there, hot man uses the
They
spray.
started replacing the geeky guy with just like a stereotypically handsome man who uses it, and the women, they sort of like that smell, even though I've never had a single woman ever comment or compliment me on smelling like Lynx.
The only time I've ever heard women talk about Lynx smells is how off-putting they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like many times as well, not just once.
Because it's often used by like younger men or men in like early 20s who it's the Italian shower, as I've heard it referred to as. Hey, I don't need to shower. I don't need to go change after the gym. Let's just put some Lynx over that bad boy and it's all fine. Spoilers, it's not fine.
Oh yes, it's the French shower. Because I didn't realise it was originated in France. But yeah.
I think it's just one of those things, like whatever region you're not from, which region you want to dunk on and call the men there smelly. But I was not aware of this, Lucas. So, Lynx's popularity in the West, so the UK and America, declined in 2004 thanks to a trend called smell maxing.
What?
Which was a trend that started on TikTok, of course, where pre-adolescent and adolescent men were using fragrances to enhance their body odour, usually using far more than the recommended amount. So smell maxing is where, do you like if you get a nice fancy body spray or aftershave or eau de toilette or cologne, they say like, one spray, maybe on your wrist, rub it together, or maybe on your neck.
I just want to hold you up. You said 2004?
No, sorry, 2024.
I was very confused because you said the words 2004 and then TikTok.
Okay, so I was looking at it's 2024, but I saw the thing above it. The previous paragraph's 2003, so I conflated the two. But yeah, smell maxing. And it was a trend on TikTok where, rather than like, you put one spray on, it's like, no, you got to smell max. And you just use half a bottle of aftershave at once.
It's so bad of like,
We've all been there.
We've all been there.
We've all smelled the guy who's wearing too much aftershave.
I've been that person,
or the woman wearing too much perfume.
And like, I've been that person that like, did like the 4, 5, 6 sprays of aftershave, and then a friend commented of like, holy shit, that's a lot. And I went, okay, lesson learned, tone it down.
Oh, less is more. Everything in moderation. And that's the thing with a good high-end or good quality cologne or body spray. 1 or 2 sprays is normally enough, and that's why but my eau de toilette is like a bit watered down, so you can probably get away with using a bit more of that. But like a proper, authentic, high-end cologne or perfume, you only need a little bit. You only need a bit of that rattlesnake venom.
If people are unaware, like eau de toilette is the eau de parfum, like version of like a perfume or an aftershave, but it is like a watered down version. So the eau de toilette version, you can just kind of like use a little bit more. It's still not suggested to use much, but it will be a less potent version, hence why it's cheaper.
Yes, but smell maxing is using upwards of up to an entire bottle of a single bottle aftershave.
No.
Hence the term smell maxing.
Just become a cloud of toxicity. Yeah, sure. Jesus Christ.
And that's the thing, that'd be awful.
I've definitely walked past people that have done that kind of stuff. Not necessarily like a TikTok trend of smell maxing, but just sometimes you walk past someone and you're like, oh my god, I can smell them from like 15 feet away.
Just a person who's not been educated on the correct way to use the product.
Yeah, and it's aggressive.
It's the same as like people use like too much like hair gel or something, right?
Yeah.
Or they use too much hair wax, or they apply too much makeup. Like it's understandable, especially when the trend is among like adolescent and like teenage men. It's understandable, right? Of like, how would you know what the correct amount is to use? Also, you're exploring like your new sense of self. Like part of exploration is maybe making a mistake.
Yeah,
or two.
like I had that moment where I learned the lesson of how much is too much. And you have to encounter that at some point, but it feels like maybe some people have not learned that lesson.
That also feels like something like those trends that people do specifically to just be obnoxious.
Oh, yeah. When it becomes
it
like
really
a
feels like
TikTok trend, it's like, then it gets to a point where like, once it's on social media and like, well, I'm going to be aggressively smelly, some people are just
or I'm
doing
going
it
to
on
like
purpose.
take it. I'm going to do it to its logical extreme and put on like 5 entire bottles of aftershave and record myself doing it for internet
At
clout.
what point does is there a difference between like wearing a bottle of aftershave and 5 bottles of aftershave? Like,
I
the
think
diminishing returns must be crazy. Like,
yeah, it feels like the exact opposite in regards to smell of shitting yourself. Of like, once you've shit yourself, it doesn't matter how much more you shit yourself because there's still shit in your pants. Like, there's the diminishing returns of like, well, there's already shit in your pants, so I guess shitting yourself more is not really going to change much. You already smell like shit.
Yeah, like,
so once you've got that first bottle on, the second bottle's not going to add much.
yeah, is a second or third or fifth bottle really going to add any sense at any point when you've got an entire bottle of aftershave on you? Oh.
Well, yeah, smell maxing.
So that diminished Lynx's popularity, did you say?
It did, yes. Because while obviously there was extremes of it, it did, because it was a trend, it started a trend of younger men who historically have been like Lynx acts as primary demographic. It started to like eat away some of that demographic for just more traditional like colognes and body sprays and scents.
So instead of just
because they started being more in demand,
spraying themselves with a bit of Axe or Lynx, they were going out and buying like aftershaves and stuff like that.
Yeah, think of it as like the inverse of like young girls and teen girls now wanting to get like really high end moisturizers and skincare stuff, even though they realistically don't need it.
It's very scary as a trend of I think I mentioned it previously, like a couple of podcasts that I listened to have mentioned that they're like, 10-year-olds and things are wanting high-end expensive moisturizers and skincare, like, different bits and bobs. And they've gotten to the point where it's not just like adult women they're going after, it's literal children.
Yeah.
It's just it's scary, and it's not necessary for 10-year-olds to refresh your skin.
Yeah, same way it's like probably not that important for like, a 15-year-old to have to like, get a bottle of £150 bottle of Tom Ford aftershave to wear to go to school or like after they've played football. Yeah. They don't need to, but you know what, for that audience, like something like this is fine, right?
Yeah.
Just something to give, even if it's the only purpose it has is to give the person a bit of confidence, which I do agree with advertising, it gives you confidence, but just the advertising was a bit cringy and a bit extreme, but that's kind of what you have to do to draw attention to yourself in a crowded marketplace.
And hey, the aspect of the women crowding around you stuck in my head to this day. Like, I remember that
it does, yeah.
part. I don't remember the geeky part, but I do remember...
I don't remember it ever happening to me, though. I was that geek who wore Lynx, and I never got women crowding around me. If anything, it scared them away.
I wore Lynx Africa specifically because of like how many Lynx Africa sets I got given for Christmas for a couple of years.
Exactly. You got to give him credit for the marketing. Like, it became the de facto gift to gift to teenage boys for a decade straight.
That Lynx box set has become like a literal meme because it was so ubiquitously given out.
Yeah, it's like an online trend for like Brits around Christmas times. If you're a British guy, is how many Lynx Africa box sets did you get for Christmas this year?
Maybe that's less applicable to us now that we're like in our 30s, but it's probably still applicable to like teenage guys at this point, even now.
Yeah, it's like, like when dads like, oh, I kind of like hot sauce. Well, that's all you get for the next 10 years. Get ready for your 10 different like hot sauce gift sets, because you mentioned liking hot sauce once 10 years ago.
I'm really annoyed though, because this year I bought a Secret Santa gift for my Secret Santa, recipient, and it's something I've been asking for years.
Oh, that's a rough one. When you got to buy something you want. I
know that I'm desperate for this thing and want to keep it for myself. But I know that it's like, hopefully, a pretty perfect gift for them. And I'm gonna be so upset when it arrives and I have to give that shit away.
You can't use it. Well, oddly enough, like, I've been drinking out of this coffee cup. If you watch like enough of our content, you notice I drink out of these nice little La Crusette coffee cups. So when I moved into this place, I thought, well, I get a cup of coffee every single morning. I would like a nice set of coffee cups when I have guests or friends over. And I would like every morning to wake up and drink my morning coffee in the place that I own out of a nice coffee set. I bought these for myself. Mm-hmm. But the reason I bought them for myself is because it was Christmas time and my mum had just had her kitchen revamped.
Right.
And I bought her a set of Le Creuset coffee cups and I went, oh, they look fucking good. You know what? I'll get a set for my dad as well. So my parents live separately, so I got a set for my dad as well for his kitchen. Like, my dad has the rainbow ones, my mum has like the classy ones. I went, oh no, I kind of want to get a set for me.
So I am.
So does everyone that Christmas has got those? Like, because I know, like, Le Creuset, people like, I think we've had a few comments like, man, that's a really nice looking mug. People recognise it as Le Creuset because it's like it's one of those brands that is.
I know that Karl's butchering it. Like the
I think it's Le Creuset, right?
Creuset.
Le Creuset, okay, sorry.
It's okay.
The Le Creuset mugs.
Yeah, but I was like, I know people are going to jump on you for that one, but they're really nice mugs. I can attest. And
yeah, and my mum, like when she has guests around at her house, they all comment on just this set she's got of like real nice looking set of mugs on her shelf. And I was like, man, they're really, really good mugs. And yeah, my son got them for me. And my hope would be that she'll use them for hopefully the next decade or so.
Yeah, that's the hope, right? And like that is the hope when you buy that brand is like that is a brand that is built on it will fucking last.
And the thing, like I said, similar to you, I bought them for my mum and went, oh, they're really nice. I'll get a set for my dad as well because I'd feel bad getting my mum like this really nice gift, this really nice thoughtful gift. And I went, well, I kind of want some for myself now as well because they're really nice. So I justified it to myself with that explanation I just gave of, well, I bought a house for myself. I want to wake up every morning and just have something nice that I bought for myself that will last, hopefully as long as my home does.
It's really interesting that like they are one of the brands that, as far as I'm aware, have not yet given in to like the inshitification. And
no, that's why they're so popular. They're not like Pyrex.
I was going to say
Pyrex stuff is absolute wank now.
Pyrex stuff like built its entire reputation on its quality and is now shit.
Yes, and to the point where people like seek out being bought out by a shit company, Pyrex, at like yard sales and charity shops and the like, because it's so hard wearing. It can be like stuff from 20 years ago will last longer than stuff built this year.
It's similar to Doc Martens, where Doc Martens at some point had a massive drop in quality, and people seek out whatever year Doc Martens because they're still, even if they're 10 years old, they're going to last longer than buying a new pair now.
Yeah, similar to Adidas. I used to wear Sambas. Adidas Sambas, that was like the brand of shoe that I wore. And they just, at a certain point, just started making them more cheaply to the point where you put them through the wash once and all the glue would fall apart. My dad still has a pair he bought in the 80s, a leather pair that looked fantastic. Obviously, the leather's cracked now, but obviously it's that nice that leather ages. They don't sell those anymore. You can only buy the faux leather ones that as soon as it cracks, it all peels and looks like shit.
Yeah, I believe like Doc Martens are kind of similar of like the leather's not as good and like the
glue that holds the heel on, I've heard, is like really poor quality.
Like I'm not familiar with the build of shoes very well, but like there's not like a supporting like piece of metal or something that they used to put in the sole, so it doesn't like hold as well. It cracks in the middle of the sole a lot.
Yeah, even like the laces. Because I remember like years ago being told if you want to get laces for a pair of boots or walking shoes, just get Doc Marten laces. And I bought a pair last year for my walking boots, and they're already fucked. Whereas I know like my other pair of walking boots, what I ended up doing is taking like the laces out of those because the boots were fucked, but the laces were still good, and putting them into my new pair because they were better than the brand new laces I bought from Doc Martens for like a tenner.
Yeah, that's the thing is like...
And shitification.
I've got an old set of Doc Martens that I've had for like 10 years and are still so stable that they won't even break in because I wear them on like nice occasions and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like they're still not broken in after 10 years. That may be, a little bit of a idea of how much I go out for nice occasions, but like they still refuse to properly like fall apart and break in and become softer.
Yeah,
because
and you are correct in the sense that, like, Le Creuset, pronounced that correctly, hopefully, is a brand like that. Because the reason I got these mugs initially with my mum is because years and years and years ago, a gift that I got given was just a single coffee cup from this brand, and I looked at it a decade after I'd been given it, and it still looked brand new.
I think
not a single scratch after like a decade of having like daily use for cups of tea and coffee.
I think that, as far as I'm aware, my mum still has a Le Creuset pot that is older than I am. And it's as good, if not better, than like anything else in her kitchen. And it's like, when you can have that level of brand of just, this thing will...
Your brand being synonymous with quality.
This thing will last you for like a lifetime, essentially.
Yeah, and some brands would see that and go, well, why would we sell that? Because then they won't buy another one. But presumably what Le Creuset see is that, hey, once they've bought it, realise it lasts life, they are locked into our ecosystem. And we have got sure that one product will last them the rest of their life, but as a customer, we've got them as a customer for life. So anytime they want to get anything else, they come to our brand first.
Right.
Especially since like all their stuff has the exact same design and like aesthetic philosophy, it all matches.
It all matches so well. Like, if somebody has a full kitchen, yes, they've spent a lot of money on that kitchen, but it's going to look good because it's all going to match. Yep. It's all going to be...
Even if and that's the thing, even if it's still different colours, because I specifically got the rainbow set, and even though they're all completely different colours, they're all match.
Of kind of the same saturation level with, as you see, like the fading into black at the bottom, like they all are aesthetically pleasing, even if they're different colours. It's very well done. So,
and no doubt, I think this year for my mum, because I think that's what I ended up getting her, because she got married this year, so I think I'm going to get like a really nice kitchen set. Because she had a wedding registry, but unfortunately, like the wedding registry never really went to plan because just like issue the wedding. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get one thing off a wedding registry and get something that'll last her for hopefully the rest of her life.
And it's gonna be
like a really nice like set of pots and
some like random cheap thing from the TikTok shop, right? Yeah.
Either way, that's Links Africa and other gifts, and also maybe a preview for like myself and Lucas's plans for next year.
How do you think your mum would feel if her wedding gift was a Links Africa box set?
Well, my mum never got me that. I think my auntie if I got my auntie that, she'd probably be annoyed, but it's the amount of thought she's put into it for me for the past 10 years. He's getting me that for £3 from Asda and calling it a day.
What would you think your mum's reaction would be if you got that for her wedding present?
She'd think it was a joke. She'd know it was a joke because I always get her a joke gift as well.
Yeah,
that, like, a joke fun gift that is like some like reference or thing that makes her laugh. So she'd assume it was just a joke she wasn't getting.
And then you're like, no.
For example, every year I get her a Christmas card, and I always either get like a giant Christmas card that's like I need to like carry under my arm when I'm walking, or a really tiny one. Or it has like, it's I go to like one of those sites that actually custom print the picture, and I get a picture of my own face. But it's like, I think one year I accidentally printed off, do you want to get passport photo? I pressed the wrong button, and rather than getting like a set of passport photos, I got stickers of my passport photo. So rather than signing cards, I just signed it with a picture of me of my passport photo, and my entire family group chat just blew up on the same day of like, the fuck is this? Because he's just me looking like a serial killer on the card, like, Merry Christmas, love, Karl.
Oh.
So that's the kind of thing I do for my family. I try and put thought into the gift, so at least I want my gift-giving criteria is I want the person to laugh when they get the gift and think of me.
Yeah, definitely. But, yeah, I'll let everyone know if I eventually cave and buy myself the same Secret Santa gift.
I want to know what that gift is, but obviously you don't want to spoil it.
You know what? Without you saying
post about it in the Discord.
No. Without
when it arrives,
without you saying anything, I want your reaction to what I got.
Okay.
So just
okay. You send it to the Discord, the private with me and you. One. I'll react, and then after this podcast goes live, go to our Discord, and Lucas will post it in there. And we'll get thoughts from our audience.
So I'm going to send you a picture of it.
Okay.
And Karl will react. So just vamp for me for 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. I'm excited for Christmas though. I'm hoping people don't read me as being like some humorless Scrooge. I love Christmas. I love giving gifts. I just don't like receiving gifts because, as I mentioned earlier, I'm too sentimental. So I'd much rather spend the time with someone than receive a gift from them. Now, that's what. Also, my house is already starting to fill up with too much stuff.
Yeah.
And the last thing I need is more stuff. My dad's the same way. It's like I get it from him of, please don't get me anything because I'll have to put it on display.
Exactly.
And he's already started so he knows yeah, Lucas would want that. That's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect for you.
It is, but it's also hopefully perfect for my Secret Santa gift. And
it's a gift for a Secret Santa.
Oh, I'm annoyed.
That's a sign of a good gift, though. If it's a gift that you'd be willing to get for yourself. I know, sometimes, people say, a gift that you clearly got for yourself is selfish, but there is something to be said about a gift that is so good, so useful, or, just such good quality. It's something you would personally use for yourself.
I'm also just, shooting in the dark and hoping they haven't already seen it and bought it themselves, because it's such an obviously good gift for that person, but... Yeah, I immediately saw it and bought it, and I probably should have bought two, but I'm trying to be frugal, but it's annoying when you're like, God damn it!
Oddly enough, I've rearranged my room a little. Remember this, Lucas? Where there's this T-shirt here for the video watchers. The T-shirt behind me is this, which is a Sunrise Skater Kids. It's some merch from those guys where they did an anime cover or speaking of Japanese language, you want to learn language, they did covers in Japanese of a bunch of pop punk songs and then did redesigns of famous pop punk album covers in an anime style. So this is the Paramore
I believe
one.
It was called Emo Taku.
Emo Taku, yeah. So when I bought that for myself, I remember when I was doing the order, I think you were at my house, and I went, Lucas, look, for Christmas, I need to order at least this much stuff. Do you want one?
Yeah, and Karl graciously gifted me a MCR version of that T-shirt essentially.
Yeah, that has Gerard Way, an anime villain. And it's Demon. It looked really cool. Again, we'll post photos of these in the Discord if people are watching.
Sick, yeah. And yeah, I'm just I'm real happy that I know that if they don't have it themselves already, that will be a really good gift. But I'm mad that it's not for me.
Yeah. But at the same time, that's a good gift, isn't it? It's a gift that's so good, you're jealous of it.
Yeah.
If you're jealous of it, hopefully other people will be too.
Yeah. And I like to think of myself as a good gift giver in that way. So, hopefully
I'm just a terrible gift receiver.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But
either way. Fine. Cheers for watching, everyone. And just continue the conversation down below in the comments or the Discord.
Yeah. Thank you all for listening. Have a lovely day. Oh, what a funny story. Thank you, Karl or Lucas.
Oh, no, don't. Oh, yeah, we're reacting to the content we just made. I'm like, what are you doing, you idiot? So this is the section of the video where we give a shout out to our big PPs. That is our code we use for our Patreon producers over on our Patreon.
It is indeed. And I somehow got swindled into this with you just improvising the big PP out of nowhere.
Do you know what? Yeah, I made an executive decision. I went, we're going to call our Patreon producers the funniest possible acronym, the PPs. He's doing his dab in. He's bringing it back. I'm showing our age. Lucas is hitting the sickest dab you've ever seen.
So for the first shout out, we've got to give a thanks to Daddy Grunt and Karl.
We make the joke every time of... I like to put fun clips in for each person who supports us as a big PP. What's your favourite effort from a video game?
Oh, I was going to say, who's your favourite daddy?
Who's my favourite daddy? Ooh. I'd say my dad. My dad's not been doing well recently, so I'll say shout outs to my dad.
We can't put a clip in of your dad.
No, but I can give him a shout out in a video. No one's going to stop me.
Shout out, yeah. No, yeah. I mean, shout outs to Karl's dad. Yeah.
So cheers to Daddy Grunt and cheers to Papa Smallwood.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
The elder Smallwood. At that point, he's the big wood, isn't he?
He's become the giant oak.
Yes, indeed, yes. But the next person to shout out is a person who's been supporting our content for a while now, and they seemingly want to see me suffer by taking a gauntlet I threw down many years ago, dipping in a bit of dog poo and slapping me across the chops, because they always submit their Patreon producer name in a language I do not speak. I believe Nahuatl. So, I'm going to give it my best shot now. So, Tinakui, Horshata, Octilane, Tomi, Sema, Sikapatia, Ta, Zemo, Tek Pacho, Nitla, Machtia, Ipan, Colta, Machtiployan, and then they have parentheses, you said a different la. Because they got cut off by
the character limit
over on Patreon. And you know what? I'm reaching my fucking limit with these pronunciations.
I keep throwing Karl to that one specifically because I'm like...
Go on, explain this.
You are the one that threw down the mantle of, fuck it, make it a different language, I'll do it.
And so behind the scenes, me and Lucas said, okay, what order are we going to go in for these shout-outs? And Lucas always mysteriously picks the order where I have to say the hard-to-pronounce names.
No, I don't. I specifically always just say, which one does Tinakui Horchata come into? Give Karl that one, because you're the one who threw down that gauntlet.
We're supposed to be in this together. I threw the gauntlet down, did not tell Lucas, and then someone picked it up and just like, do you like the boxing glove arrow from like green arrow? And just hits me across the face with it. But you know they dip it in dog poo first.
But I don't get off much better with the next one because I've got to translate emojis into words apparently.
Go for it.
So we have the burning dragon here with I'd guess like a big eye face, an ubu face, a little mustache face, and then maybe a happy face throwing a table at a very concerned face in emojis.
Very good. Giant eye, dead fish, cat head, guy doing this.
As I often joke, our fans are now submitting to us their names in hieroglyphics. And hoping we know how to pronounce them, which just makes me appreciate another long-time supporter, Rosalindis Memphis, all the more. They've been steadfast. They've been steadfast in both their support and what they want to be referred to in this section of the videos, and I very much appreciate that.
And I'm guessing we still have more of the Memphis song list to go through at this point. Apocalypse.
I found a Nightcore cover that Mark Cohen won't copyright strike. Because I had to make it slightly more Nightcore, because I like to put in clips that we can like slot in the shout-outs to our big PPs in. Mm-hmm. And for Rosalindis Memphis, I keep trying to put in a clip from Mark Combs walking in Memphis. And I found a Nightcore cover that I additionally sped up to make it even more Nightcore.
That is a song I would have never expected to have a Nightcore version of.
There's a Nightcore version of everything, Lucas.
That's true.
Like, Nightcore is for... They're still making it. There's still people out there making Nightcore.
Just the heroes. But speaking of...
That's correct, yeah. There's not people out there. There's fucking legends out there still making Nightcore covers.
But speaking of other heroes, Karl, we do have to thank Kick and Bucket, another hero who... Again, we don't mind that people are changing their names to make it more difficult for us. We do still encourage it. I know that we make the joke of like, how dare you? But we still encourage you to just make it difficult for us because it's funny for content, right?
Yeah, like some people, some members of our audience like shooting us in the backs of the knees and watching us crawl over broken glass.
And I appreciate that we've been getting support from Kick and Bucket.
Feels good.
Who has not decided to do that. They've just, again, kept it simple. But, yeah, I would say to people who are watching this, who are like, man, they really don't like that we're making it difficult. It's like, we do. We're just trying to make this fun.
Another element that plays into it is that we personally feel bad if we can't pronounce the name, because then the person isn't getting the proper credit we feel they deserve. It is indeed, yes. And the next person we move on to, another long-time supporter. We know this because they say in their name, which is Be of Awesome, this month marks 1 year of Patreon support. Here's to another. Cheers. Be a glass emoji. Clink. Be a glass emoji. And I'm not drinking because it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but tink.
I mean, I'm drinking some squash, but yeah, clink. Yeah.
I thought you were going to smash that into your camera then. Like, you smash it into your camera, and then just like smash cut to me and you like in our Discord, being like, "Look, guys, we need some more Patreon support because Lucas has no camera.
I need another 500 quid for a camera, please."
Yeah. Oh yeah. The equipment, people probably think like these videos look real cheap. The equipment's not cheap.
Yeah, no, unfortunately not.
It's because those fact fiend coffers were pretty deep back in the day. Eh?
Allowance day, ding, 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 ding.
You don't deserve an allowance.
Sure we do. Ding, 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 ding.
Ice cream man.
But the next person we have to thank that also is helping pay towards those expensive equipment costs is Ghost, Little Ghost, and those ghosts are little emojis.
That's
so
my
you.
favourite nursery rhyme. Ghost, little ghost,
Ghost. He actually runs off the tongue pretty well.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice little ditty, that.
Yeah.
Ghost, little ghost, little ghost. Try and say it like 5 times fast. Ghost, little ghost, little ghost, little ghost. I like it. You put a bit of Nightcore behind that. We've got the makings of a song. We've got the makings of a smash hit there.
Do we have the rights to that, or does Little Ghost?
Well, they'll get a producer's credit.
The PP credit.
Yeah, they get a big PP, and they'll be credited on the album as a big PP. But someone else we need to credit is Split Screen, and their name in full is Split Screen asks, would pharaohs think Anubis girls and Curse of Ra are peak? Lucas, you're more online than I am. What is an Anubis girl, and are we going to have to edit this because it's a thing we can't put a clip in or picture of?
So I'm not fully sure, because I googled the term Anubis girl, and the first thing that came up was a fandom of the House of Anubis category females. So it might be the women from the House of Anubis. It may just be girls that look like the fictional mythical character Anubis. I'm not 100% sure. And then the Pharaoh's Curse seems to just be like the curse of Ra. And it seems to like be like memes which involve like Egyptian curses of people being like covered in sand.
Yeah, is anybody out there more online than myself or Lucas who can explain this reference to us? Because I don't get it. If they're talking like just girls doing cosplay as Anubis, I'm all on board with that, but I don't think that's what this is. What is it? A group of 8 teenagers who live together in a Anubis house that serves a boarding house, an elite boarding school in the United Kingdom. It is based on the Dutch and German show Het Huis Anubis. Get all the seasons on iTunes.
On iTunes?
That's enough internet for today.
Yeah,
that's enough internet today. And the last person to shout out someone has a nice, simple name that I'm hoping I'm not going to mispronounce, which is Ranma Sawatame. So thank you very much to Ranma Sawatame for not making me have to look up a wiki on a... I might have to watch this show.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was also my shout out, but yeah, sure, we've just been twisted
Do I
around.
want to go to the Anubis verse?
I don't know. I don't even know if that's what they're referring to.
Is it?
But yeah.
I'm so sorry, Ranma Sawatame. It's like, there's like, just, you got Anubis.
Yeah, no, shout out to Ranma Sawatame, who was meant to be my shout out, and I think Karl just got a bit flustered.
I'm Ranma Sawatame. Sorry about this.
I got flustered by the Anubis verse. Jerome Clark is a main character. He lives at Anubis house. He's a prankster who always has tricks up his sleeves.
Anyway, I hope that Karl can find a very good clip for Ranma Sawatame to round out this one and not just like get absolutely dunked on by some Anubis girls.
Internet, help us.
Internet, please.
In more ways than one, you can also support us on Patreon and like send us down more weird internet rabbit holes if that is your goal.
If that is your goal, we have to look this up. We do. Thank you for your support, everyone.
This is going to be an entire afternoon of Googling for me, Lucas. 1,352 articles.
Thank you all for your support. Karl's going on a weird rabbit hole right now. We appreciate you all, and yeah, thank you for the month of support.